What it do, what it is, it's your boy Pete back up in this biz. Hey man, last time I checked on the clock, one game left in the season. And guess what? We playing. Just like my name say tonight, POB, party on broad, birds of a feather, let's go.
Oh my God! Embarrassed! He's flying!
Oh, come in. It's almost time.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live on A2D Radio, Birds of a Feather, brought to you by Baggio's Bread, located in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, home of the best stuffed breads, tomato pie, sandwiches, cutlets, and meatballs. Mention A2D Radio for 10% off your entire in-store purchase. We are on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and wherever you download your podcast. So if you're listening to us live right now or on your commute or in your car on the way to Baggio's Bread, we greatly appreciate the support. It's your boy Chucks, it's your boy OG Pete, it's your boy Jake, and your boy PY. Nate Money will be hitting us up later on as usual. We are here, gentlemen. It is 3 days, 3 days away. I had to count real quick. 3 days away. Super Bowl 57. It's upon us, and we've got our Super Bowl preview show tonight. The first quarter, we are going to look at this team, but not only this team, but this era of football from 2000 to now. And we're going to compare this run that this franchise has had the past few years, and we're going to compare it to the era of Eagles from the early 2000s, that Andy Reid, early Andy Reid era. Which era was better, and what impact did that era have on this era of Eagles? And we'll look at some other stuff regarding this team and the previous Super Bowl team and so on and so forth. So that's the first quarter of the show. Second quarter of the show, we're going to dive into the game previews. We're going to talk about the Eagles offense versus the Chiefs defense. Third quarter, we switch it up. Go to the other side of the ball, Eagles defense versus Chiefs offense. And in the fourth quarter, of course, we go no huddle. We got a lot of other topics to talk about. So the NFL Honors is going on right now. So we'll get some live reaction to that as we go. They already announced some of the awards going on. I'm kind of bitter because Kenneth Walker didn't win Offensive Rookie of the Year. So I'm kind of mad. But I'm also kind of glad that Brock Purdy didn't win it because Niners fans, now they're crying even more. So that was a little fun. But yeah, we'll talk about that. Talk about a lot of the other news and notes as always. As we wrap up at the end of the show, the last football season show for Birds of a Feather of 2022-2023. But first quarter of the show, let's get into it, and it's brought to you by eXp Realty. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, and if you're looking for a change in career brokerage, contact Alan Foy of eXp Realty LLC at 302-682-8820 or visit him at alan.foy@exprealty.com. The poll question for tonight, gentlemen, the Eagles 2016 to 2022 era has been better than their 1999 to 2004 era. Agree or disagree? I'm going to let the guy who came up with this poll question, Mr. PY, it was a surprisingly really interesting question that he brought to the chat. This is probably the best thing he's ever contributed to the show. So I'm going to let him lead off. It's a compliment. Why?
It's not a compliment.
How is it not a compliment?
That's like saying you're the best looking guy in the room and everyone else is a bunch of uggos. Like, come on now.
Poll question. It's a great poll question. It's a compliment.
No, it is not.
How do you compliment your mom? That's what I want to know. Like, oh, Mom, you look great today. You look awful.
Just answer your damn poll question.
It's 100% yes. Like, obviously, we had success with Andy. We went to 4 straight NFC championship games. They went to one Super Bowl. One. You got your ass beat by Jake Delhomme and Brad freaking Johnson. Like, you didn't win one. You didn't win one. In this era, we've won one Super Bowl. We beat the GOAT and the GOAT coach. And we're going right back to another Super Bowl where we're facing Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Like, it's not even a question. Like, not to mention the fact you've done it with two different head coaches and two different quarterbacks.
Oh, that was okay. Jake.
I'm going to disagree, and here's why. If you go back, obviously, for the early 90s, I mean, we weren't great per se, but then when we brought Andy in, he kind of set the foundation of this organization in this way, building them from the scrimmage, offensive deep line, and we still carry that mentality today. Led us to our first Super Bowl. Obviously, he wasn't here, but you get my point. Now it's led us to potentially our second Super Bowl. So it's as far as like getting to the NFC Championship. Did we win with Andy? No, but I think the bigger factor than anything is it set the foundation for organization going forward, even after Andy was here. And I think that's the big part about it.
OJ Pete, what say you?
Listen, man. That's all well and good. I was younger back then, but I agree to the poll. It's not even close. It's not even close. And if you just want, there's so many different levels. If you want to look at from his era, right? How many Hall of Famers is it? One. That's Dawkins. You have two surefire first ballot Hall of Famers on your team right now that came through this organization. Now, obviously, Andy drafted them. Don't get me wrong. Andy drafted one, which was Kelce. I mean, Chip is the gift that keeps on giving with Lane Johnson. So I would say, yeah, man, because you got to the mountaintop, you cashed in, you back again. Like P.Y. said, you got to one. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's been more NFC Championship games. The level of success, you would say you was more consistent with Andy. You felt like you had a shot every year. But when Andy, it's the opposite with 16 and 22, because with Andy, you felt like we belong here. You felt like we could get it done. You felt like we would win a Super Bowl. And honestly, the 2016 and 2022 has been a roller coaster of sorts. You kind of got hot. When you got hot, you cashed in. It's like going to a casino and playing blackjack and getting up, turning 50 into 500, but then losing 250. That's what I feel like the 99 to 04 era was. Where 16 to 22, you go on with 50, bitch, and you breaking the casino. They checking you out to see if you counting cards. You feel what I'm saying? To where now 16 and 22, like bro, like Pete said, you are right back here. You are right back here with the chance to party on Broad. The P can stand for party on Broad. It can stand for parade on Broad. It's Broad. But next Thursday, I was looking at my schedule already to see if I could take off of work if I wanted to. Not even if I'm not going to the parade, just for the fact that I could be home and just watch all the parade coverage and watch every
on Thursday.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, it's hard. But if you just look at it from outside of just looking at it from Super Bowls, the cliche shit, like the easy low hanging fruit, outside of looking at it from Super Bowls, outside of looking at it from Hall of Fame players, look at them. I mean, look at the moments, look at the memories from 16 to 22. You retweeted how you were when they won the Super Bowl 5 years ago. You were inconsolable. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
There was no point in 99 to 04 where we had that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know what I mean? So when we talk about when you sit your kids down at some point, you have all that from 2017. And then 2 years later, we didn't know where this team was headed. from a Super Bowl.
11.
We were sitting here talking about the draft 6 weeks into the season, and now we right back here all over again. And don't like 99 to 04, man. It was just different. It's a different type of hurt because you like, yo, I know we better than the fucking Panthers. I know we better than the Bucks. You know what I mean? Like we supposed to be here, and it honestly it took Andy to go through all that to get to Kansas City and figure out what actually freaking worked.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody benefited from it. You know what I mean? Like everybody grew from that. You know what I mean? And dog. I never liked somebody as much as I like Jalen Hurts as a leader.
Yeah.
When my man hit you with, Jake shared it earlier in our chat.
Yep. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He always talks about that verse, John 3:17. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But when he sat there today and said, how do you feel about your critics? And he said, listen, I had a purpose before anybody had an opinion. If that don't hit you, I don't even care about football at that point. He's talking about his purpose in life.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sitting here saying it's going to equate to a Super Bowl win on Sunday. All I can sit here and say is like, I can walk away from that. It's hard for me to be mad at that dude. If I had to be critical, I could still be critical because he was critical of him last year. I'm not sitting here saying he could walk on water. He has full autonomy. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying if that's the leader that you're going with, that's the leader of your team. How can you not get behind that? How can you not want that dude to win?
Yep.
I'm not taking nothing away from Patrick Mahomes, any other premier quarterbacks in the league. I'm not saying that. As far just as a leader, if heaven forbid never reaches his level again after Sunday, the man got a career as a motivational speaker. I don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what you say because he can motivate you to rise above, and he channels everything in. He channels everything in, and we'll get into it further. I know speaking about the poll question, but that's you getting all time. And I'm not 5 is 5. Don't get me wrong. 5 is 5. Outside of 5, T.O. was already great before he got here. You know what I mean? Dawkins was homegrown from here. Emmett Thomas all the way through Hall of Fame career. So you could say Trey Thomas, John Runyon was a free agent. But outside of that, you got Jason Kelce. You have lifers with your team that's going in the Ring of Fame for the Eagles, where Jeffrey Lurie learned what Norman Brayman did. Reggie White was never supposed to don another team's uniform at any point, right? Jason Kelce, Lane Johnson probably will never, ever wear another team's uniform. Their first game was an Eagle in midnight green. Their last game is going to be an Eagle in midnight green. We could be saying the same thing of Brandon Graham. If they bring him back, if he want to play, it is what it is. But when you had that, it's hard to look back at 99-04. Like Jay said, that was a start, right? That was a start. You know what I mean? But this is the pinnacle. This is the mountaintop of what you want to get to as a fan base, as an organization, from Jeffrey Lurie being so progressive and so many different things, being a respectable owner, never hearing his name in any BS. You know what I mean? From Howie Roseman coming out of nowhere, getting sent to the janitor's closet, coming back like new money, hitting on everything, finally coming out and saying what everybody wants to say about Carson Wentz in more or less words. It's just different. I finally feel like with Andy, I never felt like we had a true culture. Even that's in 14 years. As an identity, as an organization. It's one thing to have an identity as running a team, as a coach, from game planning and how you. But now I feel like from the Eagles in a better position from top to bottom, everybody involved is a destination that people want to come to. Hell, San Fran can't keep our name out their mouth.
God,
I never seen nothing like it. They can't keep our name out their mouth. So I just had to agree with 2016 to 2022. Everybody's just on more on top of their game when it comes to drafting, making the right offseason moves, and I think we got the right people in place for hopefully for a long run.
Yeah.
Hopefully for a long run.
Yeah, I definitely agree to the poll. Obviously, the obvious answer or reason behind the answer is because of the Super Bowl win back in 2017-18. So that's the all you guys mentioned it. That's the obvious one. But I think it's also you kind of alluded to it, Pete. Is it's been a roller coaster, but it's been a roller coaster in a good way because we've seen this team go from after the Chip Kelly firing into after the 2015 season, we didn't know where we were going. Where we were going. Like we hired Doug Peterson, and Doug Peterson was people say he was like one of the last candidates that we had on our list
in the last 30 years.
And so no one we had was it Joe Lombardi who said that he was
Mike
the worst
Lombardi.
Mike Lombardi, sorry. Somebody Lombardi's. Mike Lombardi. So he was the worst coaching hire. And you go from that and his first season, obviously with Carson was mediocre. We don't know what we're going to do. And then 2017 out of nowhere, a magical Super Bowl run and a run that was marred also in not controversy, but in trials and tribulations with all the injuries, including Carson or your MVP candidate, MVP leading quarterback gets hurt and is done for the year. We lose him, but it doesn't stop us. That run we all know was a magical run. You can't even make it up in a story, in a movie. Like you can't write that stuff. So that being our first win and then collapsing from that so badly over the next few years, and then I even remember when the whole thing went down after 2020, and then you had all the reports, McManus's article about what was going on behind closed doors with Howie Roseman and everything else, and how just shattered the franchise was. Like I remember talking to Chrome, talking to everyone at A2D, being like, "We're going to be bad for years, aren't we? Like, there's no getting out of this because Jeffrey Lurie won't fire Howie, and Howie's a big problem."
Mm-hmm.
That I was ready to be in the cellar and be again in the pits of the NFL for years, but we're back 2 years later. After that, just 2 years, we are back in the big game. So the roller coaster is part of their journey, and I think that really helps make this era and everything moving forward that special, because not only did we get over the hump in 2017 with that first Super Bowl win, but we rebounded, and now we have I'm not saying we had the Super Bowl winning team, but it's arguably we have the best team in the league. It's just a matter of sealing the deal on Sunday. And we've gone from being a team that could never win one to being a team now that we won it, and we have it's like a weight of monkeys lifting off our back. Like we don't have that, we've never won one, so something bad's always going to happen to prevent us from winning it. That's always going to be. That was always the fear back in 2017 when everything was happening. We were always scared. This is Philly. This is why we can't win. Is because all these things were cursed. It's the Will Penn curse. That was an actual thing. But now it's no. We have confidence. We've all felt it through this whole season. We've had this sense of confidence because we're confident in this team. We're confident in the culture they built and the roster that's on here with the coaching staff and the players and everything. It's something that we have never felt before. Even when back in 2004, I'd say I've never had this level of confidence going into the big game. Even more so compared to 2014. And that was arguably the best team that we had, since up until this point. So that's amazing. to be able to see how these past few years have played out. Now, even though I do agree, I want to take a minute to just acknowledge the other era, because remember how bad things were up until Andy Reid came in with this franchise. Our franchise was a joke. All right, like
Yep.
the best thing we had was the 1980 Super Bowl appearance, and then Buddy Ryan and Randall Cunningham and Reggie White. That was the best thing we had.
Yep.
And we were still marred in mediocrity and failure. Andy Reid comes, and not only his tenure from 1999 to 2004, but even beyond that, his whole, what was it, 12, 13 years, 14 years he had with us?
14 years, yeah.
14
Yeah.
years. He turned, like Pete, you mentioned like we had no identity or culture. I disagree with that. He established the culture that this is how you win. In terms of this is how you become a consistent winning organization. We might have never won one, but we were all with Andy. We always believed that we were in the mix every single year. We never thought that like we're a bad team. No, we thought that we could win it every single year. We had a chance because we had Andy, and of course we had McNabb. But even after McNabb left, you had the season with Mike Vick. So because of Andy, he turned the mindset and the culture around for this team. And then obviously him having Doug Peterson and mentoring Doug Peterson would eventually indirectly help us. So even though, this era is better, quote unquote, is better than that era, I don't want to discount or discredit. I'm sure none of you are either, but I don't want to sell short what that era that Andy Reid had with us during that time meant to this franchise, meant to this city. He turned things around in a way that no other coach probably could ever do. No, Buddy Ryan, Dick Vermeil, none of them. Andy Reid, the future Hall of Fame coach, really put us on the map and set the stage for us to be, hey, we can be a successful organization. And without Andy, I can say confidently, without Andy, we wouldn't be in this situation to be set up for success like we are now. So, Andy, of course, we all love him, and he deserves his flowers. So I just wanted to say that. So I didn't know if you guys had anything else to add in terms of Andy Reid and what that prior era meant to you guys. Obviously, for me, this goes without saying, obviously that era ushered in Brian Westbrook and everything. So without that, like I wouldn't have my guy. Like Grayson wouldn't be named Grayson Westbrook Moranin. So that meant that era still means a lot.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. I can see how it laid the foundation. That was the most consistent years of success there, where you feel like you had a shot. Because before that, we couldn't even be in the conversation with the other teams in the NFC East. Like it was like we felt like we was the ugly duckling. You know what I mean? We were the loudest, but we didn't have no accomplishments to show for it. Not even NFC East championships, no NFC championship appearances. And so it could be squandered opportunities, but it was the start. It was like it was the validity of your franchise. And I think Laurie has learned things every step of the way.
Yep.
Every step of the way, he's gathered something that's okay. This is what it takes. Where we feel like 2017, I think over 4 decades as an Eagles fan, he said 2017 Super Bowl season had a lot of luck, a lot of good time, and this one is all time. Like this feels sustainable.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the difference. For 04, it felt like it could have been sustainable, but it was fringy because of who was there and that volatile relationship between McNabb and T.O. and then how that was. And Banner was still around. Banner was still around at that point, wasn't he? In 04?
Yeah.
Where how Banner didn't, I don't think Banner understood. Don, what's up, man? Congrats, Don. Y'all getting SummerSlam, man, Ford Field. Let me come stay with you and get some tickets. But no, I feel like Banner didn't matter who the name was. He was doing what's the best for the team, trying to sign people early, letting people go. And just kind of like there's no reason at that point Jeremiah Trotter should have ended up in a Redskins uniform. You know what I mean? Like things like that. So it's it's one of those things to where now I just think everybody knows. Like this is, like I don't feel like honestly, this is going to sound crazy. Like I don't ever think we'll be in the bottom of the barrel again.
Yep.
I think the team is ran too well just to suck.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? At this point, from the top to the bottom, I never thought I would say that about Howie, but hearing him talk today throughout this whole week and just getting snippets, like he's finally, like he's got it. Like his ego is out the door. Like he knows what it takes because you had 2017, 2018, you tried to run it back and you thought everything was just going to happen and fall your way again to where he learned and said, all right, now I can't do that. Like I got to start drafting. Well, I mean, literally look at the last two drafts, how many people have contributed to the point where now you can Fletcher Cox, a lifelong Eagle. Now this dude can go at the Sunday if you don't bring him back because you already drafted his replacement. Mm-hmm. And listen, I love Bradbury being here. The shit worked out. But listen, Bradbury, bitch, you wasn't supposed to be here. It was supposed to be Tariq Woolen and fucking Pete fucking Seattle.
Don't remind me.
But that's something. But the plan was already there. You know what I mean? Like the plan to address it and to get talent and notify and notice and identify and your pro personnel which players can help you out, not just from the top of the draft, but in the mid rounds as well. They've done that very, very well. And like I said, when you look at who's leading the team, it's just different, man. Mm-hmm. I don't give a shit if he sucks, he sucks. We'll call him out in this play. I don't have a question. Like with Wentz, we had a question. Like, is this dude giving it his all? Is he playing in spite of the system or within the system? You'll never have to say that about Jalen. That's just not in his character. That's not in his DNA. And this make you feel good. Like I honestly think that obviously they got the most Super Bowls. We got a long way to go. Mm-hmm. But I feel like it's a culture similar to what we may have with Pittsburgh. That's how I feel. Where I see more people now rocking their Eagle shit more proud and just out there, just like somebody. I mean, it could be the summertime. You see people with, and it's just different. You know what I mean?
Anywhere.
It's just different. Like I see more Eagle stuff now than I did in 2017.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Let's get to the chat real quick and then we'll resume. But Dynasty, Robert Gilchrist says he agrees because of the Super Bowl win. Angry Bear says, as one who has seen every Eagles Super Bowl appearance, it is hands down getting the Lombardi. There is no other answer. Scooby-Doo says, Scoob-Doo says, we the haters, man, cuz. I don't know what that means. Marley Coldburst says, we really survived through Kevin Cobb and Sam Bradford to get here. Real quick,
don't sleep on sleeves.
The moment Kevin Cobb was drafted, I knew he wasn't a franchise quarterback because there's no way a franchise quarterback last name is Cobb. There's no damn way God would name have a franchise quarterback of an NFL team be a star and have the last name Cobb. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. Angry Bear says, I disagree. Buddy was sabotaged by Raymond because he was cheap. That's why we lost Reggie and the Fog Bowl. Don says Eagles 38, Chiefs 21. And he says,
cry.
Come through. We're gonna have a ball. And then he also says Howie Roseman ain't got nothing on Bill O'Brien. Oh God. I have an interesting I guess you can say game we can play here. All right. So we're comparing this team to other eras, and we're comparing it. We've already touched on this team compared to the 2017 team, right? So I want to go position by position between the two teams. If we were to play in one Super Bowl, we're going to pick out which players at each position between the two teams we pick. All right. Ooh. I want to see where we end up with this. How many players we would take, we would have from each team. So obviously quarterback. And we're going by Super Bowl rosters. All right, the rosters that were in the Super Bowl. So, quarterback, you've got Jalen Hurts versus Nick Foles. This is easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going Jalen Hurts.
Mhm.
Anybody else disagree?
Well,
I would
so
go
we're going just quarterback.
No, we're going each position, but I'm starting at quarterback. So would anyone take? Who would you take between Nick Foles and Jalen Hurts to win one Super Bowl game?
To win one Super Bowl game?
Yeah. So if Super Bowl in one Super Bowl game, you take the Nick Foles from 2017 or Jalen Hurts right now.
2017 Big Dick Nick, bro. I've seen it.
Yeah, I was say he's done it.
Seen it
He's done it.
Like this dude went toe to toe with the GOAT. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's hard. Like, if you just say, okay, if you're looking at who would you want to move forward with and build a season with,
Right.
then obviously you take Jalen Hurts. But if you talk about in the Super Bowl game,
so I'm not basing it on how they performed. Okay.
Okay.
We don't know how this team's going to perform in the Super Bowl. I'm saying if you were to take Nick Foles, 2017 Nick Foles, as a player and say like, okay, there's a Super Bowl we're playing tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Foles from 2017, you're going to be playing. Would you pick that Nick Foles, the one who in the playoffs also had some really bad stinkers and was inconsistent, or would you pick Jalen Hurts, who we don't know how he plays in the Super Bowl yet? I would pick Jalen Hurts. I'm going with Jalen Hurts on my Super Bowl roster over Nick Foles.
The hard thing for me is I just know if Jalen Hurts and that Jalen Hurts did how he played this year was playing Bill Belichick, I would be fearful. I would be terrified because you have to throw the ball in tight windows. That's what Belichick would force you to do. If you look at those throws to Alshon Jeffrey, you look at that throw to Corey Clement. You see what I'm saying? Like I just don't know if Jalen has that. But I get your point. If we don't know any of that, if all that is unknown,
if it's unknown, like you don't.
Yeah, I would take Jalen Hurts.
Anyone else? You think Jalen? Py?
I think you said Jalen.
He said Jalen. Is he paying attention? I don't know.
Probably not.
Yeah.
All right, just making sure. All right, so running back, one running back. Out of all
we're going.
2017 versus 2022, one lead back.
One lead back.
Healthy?
Kenneth Gainwell.
Yeah.
Like completely 100% healthy.
Yeah, completely healthy.
J.J.
Yeah, J.J. No doubt.
PY.
I'm sorry, Miles, but a healthy J.J.
Woo.
PY, what would you pick?
I'm going Gainwell.
Sure.
Okay.
Playoff Gainwell. I'm liking what I'm seeing, man.
Whatever. I'm going Miles.
You couldn't have it any other way.
It's really tough for me because like I was huge on Jay Ajayi too. So like to me, I'm splitting hairs, but I'm going Miles because I like that explosiveness in his game over Jay Ajayi. But it's so close. Like it really wasn't. I have Jay Ajayi's jersey. So how many people do you know have Jay Ajayi's jersey?
What was his number?
How many people do you know who have Caleb Sturgis' jersey?
Well, you're an idiot. So
wasn't Ajayi? Did Ajayi wear 36?
He wore 36
Yes.
for that year. Yeah.
My my buddy has a Super Bowl J.J. jersey.
With 36 is now retired, right?
No,
it's not retired. It's just for
That's right. We don't
random reason.
We don't retire jerseys here.
We don't retire a lot. I've had this conversation with people. Like the Eagles don't retire a lot of jersey numbers. They just don't. Like it's more scarce than people think. Like I remember having.
I think it's Jerome Brown, Reggie White,
Brian Dawkins,
and 5.
There's 9. There's 9.
There's 40.
Benera's jersey, I think, right?
There's also 44.
McNabb.
There's 44.
Who was 40? Was that Tommy McDonald?
Let me see.
I don't know. If you want to look that up. Okay, 3 wide receivers. So which wide receivers would you take? So I'm taking AJ Brown. I'm taking Devontae Smith, and the third one is tough. I think I would take Torrey Smith because
okay.
what we're lacking. We have Quez Watkins, right? Torrey Smith is just a better version of Quez Watkins.
Yes.
So
And he's not stupid.
Yeah.
I see. I think with Devontae and Torrey, there's some overlap. So I would go. Fuck.
It's tough because remember,
It is
this
tough.
isn't about picking the best. It's picking like
Right.
what your roster is. Yeah.
I would go AJ. Fuck, man. Alshon was a beast when he was healthy.
It's tough. So
Yeah.
if you take Alshon, so you're gonna have Devontae in the slot.
No, see that's where it's actually. So for me, I'm Devontae's in. It's in between Alshon and AJ right now for me.
What up, Nate Money?
What's up, Nate?
What up, Nate?
Y'all can start the show now because I know y'all been
Gandalf has
talking
arrived.
for
Early,
40
man.
minutes,
Bro, you
and I'm
early.
the motherfucking show, and now y'all can start it. Let's go.
Bro, you early. You said an hour in, and it's only 36.
I know.
You're early.
It's
man.
it's Super Bowl week. Even he hype.
Yeah.
Of course.
Nate, what we're doing right now,
What?
we're playing this a fun little game. We're taking the two Super Bowl teams, 2017 and this team. And I'm saying if you had to pick between the two teams to build a starting roster to win one Super Bowl game between the two rosters again, which we're going position by position, what players would you have to start that, to make the teams? So I think all of us agreed we would take Jalen over Nick. And then at running back, we had different answers. I had Miles, Pete, and Jake had Ajayi, and PY had Gainwell. And then we're on three wide receivers now. So I had AJ, Devontae, and Torrey Smith because Torrey Smith is pretty much a better Quez Watkins. And so we have that speed element. So that's the three I went with. And then Pete is talking about who he'd take. He's still debating.
I'm gonna take honestly probably the one wide receiver on both eras that's probably the most unique. I'm gonna take Nelson Aguilar.
I like it.
Ooh,
I was
I
just about to say
Between the
that.
two teams,
Yeah.
both this year, he's like the blend of everything.
Yep.
yeah.
Him in the slot with Devontae on the outside and AJ or Alshon. I mean, they're not interchangeable.
All right, I'm changing my answer. I'm changing my
do
answer.
like
play
that,
different
yeah.
now.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
taking
my
Devontae
answer.
Aguilar. Yeah, I'm doing that too. I changed my answer.
Love Torrey though.
So,
Jake,
Nate, do you want to answer? You want to answer the poll question in general, and then run down your picks?
I'm just going to agree with the black guy, so I agree with what you said. That makes it easier because I didn't read any motherfucking notes, right?
Oh, this wasn't even in the notes.
I'm coming in here unprepared for the quiz today, Chucks. So
Well, none of them are. And this is totally random.
This is pop quiz territory.
Yeah, this is totally
I'm
random.
still unprepared. I didn't read the chapter. Okay, I'm poking the black guy next to me, yo, man.
I got you, baby. I got you, dog.
There we go.
Say less.
They told me to read the chapter. Heard no homework.
Yeah, that's what I heard. We got an Eagles game this week. What the fuck are you talking about? I don't know. The poll question just went away.
Oh yeah, my bad. There you go.
Who has the better error? Oh, okay, I remember this question. I would say this error, 16-22. We won the Super Bowl, obviously the following year, and when we win the Super Bowl, when we get back to Wall Street, this will go down as the best Eagles team ever.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
I can see that.
Yep.
17-1.
Period. So I got, you got one in this era. You won 2 rings.
Yep.
You give it one up because you already have one, really. But you win 2 rings in this era. That 99-04 can't compete.
Yep.
No.
Can't compete. It was a fun run, but they didn't get it done at the end of the day, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, I agree to the poll. I agree.
Jake, who are your 3 wide receivers that you would?
I went with Pete. I think we all
I think we all went with Pete's then.
Yeah, we all did.
That's what you guys got to do, right? Just
Now here's a fun one. Here's who would we have at tight end? It's Zach Ertz versus Dallas Goedert.
Ooh.
I knew you were going to do this to me.
Yeah, give me Ertz.
I knew it.
I'm going with Dallas because
Really?
if Jalen Hurts is my quarterback,
I don't trust
and
him in big moments.
I'm running all these, with Jalen Hurts running all this run game stuff. I'm absolutely getting the blocker. I'm getting Dallas Goedert. So, no disrespect. I love Zach Ertz, but I'm getting Dallas Goedert because he's a more versatile weapon. If I had gone with Nick Foles or a pocket passer as my quarterback, then I'd have Zach Ertz. But with this, I need the blocker. So I'm taking Dallas over Ertz.
I can dig it. He would that like Marley Colbert said. He said 2017 Ertz was different though.
Yeah,
He was.
That's tough, man. But like you said, the
Dallas
running
has
game
never been on that level.
The run game as a route runner, no, but he's different. Dallas is better through contact than Ertz is.
Yes.
Ertz to me is the closest. Prime Ertz was the closest thing you got to prime Travis Kelce. But obviously Travis Kelce was just better. But as far as the way they were able to get in and out of routes like that, it was just Ertz is different. But like you said, when you need to go jumbo or you want to do all these run schemes, you really can't do that with Ertz. He's a liability in the blocking.
Mm-hmm.
So looking at the big picture, I probably will go Dallas Goedert as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Anyone else?
I think I would have to slightly lean to Ertz.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Even though his yak is like -2.
Right.
Goddard still hasn't got there yet. We haven't seen that Ertz-esque over 100 catches, over 1,000 yards, from a receiving standpoint. I love Dallas. I think Dallas is on his way to there.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen what Ertz has done and can do. So I have to go with the proven commodity at that point.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't hate it. Jake, PY, I don't know if you guys.
Yeah, just going with Ertz. Like Nick said, he's proven he's done it. So
Ertz all day.
Cool. All right. So now we get into the offensive line. Left tackle, I'm pretty sure it's easy because you have Big V versus Mailata. It's Mailata.
It's my
anyone disagree?
Oh, what about Jason? Peters in there?
No, we're talking about the Super Bowl rosters.
Oh,
Super
okay.
Yeah. Super Bowl rosters only. Left guard.
I don't think Big V gets enough respect, honestly.
He was great in that playoff run.
Where is he?
Big V is so overrated, guys. Come on.
he was with the treat.
Is he starting
He's
somewhere?
in Detroit.
Not
He's
anymore.
Detroit.
Not anymore.
Hey, I think he got beat out, but he's he's in the same position he was when he was here. Like he's a spot tackle. But I'll probably go Mailata. Just the Mailata has a higher upside.
Well, he got paid, right? Big V got paid, so
He got I think he got like 5 for 3 for 30.
The Lions are
5 for
desperate.
30 or something like that. 20
The
million.
Lions are desperate for O-line, so I'm pretty sure Don, if you're listening still, you'd agree. Like they were desperate, so of course they're going to sign Big V to a contract. But yeah, Big V's so he's overrated. Left guard is Steven Wisniewski versus Landon Dickerson. I'm going Dickerson.
Landon. Yeah, Landon.
Dickerson.
Yeah, agree.
Yep.
yeah.
Center is the same.
I was just saying who won the coach of the year. I don't understand this, but go ahead.
It was Brian Dable.
Brian Dable, yeah.
It's ridiculous, man.
Big V's contract was 5 years, 45 mil, 7 mil signing bonus, 20 million guarantee.
Oh, he got paid.
Yes, he got paid.
Yeah. So Kelce and Lane Johnson are the same. Right guard is Brandon.
This is not even a fucking debate. Brandon Brooks. Not even a fucking debate.
Absolutely.
Next.
Yeah.
Next.
I would say in that line, at the time they were playing, you could say Brandon Brooks was the best lineman on the team, and he's in between two Hall of Famers. He just didn't play long enough.
Yeah, he was on par with them. I don't know if I'll say better, but he was on par. He was insane. He was insane during that stretch. Yeah, he had a 2-3 year stretch where he was the best right guard in the game. So yeah,
mauling people.
Boom. All right, so switching it over, D line. This is where it gets tricky. All right, so if we're gonna
you gonna go position for position.
Yeah, it's or do you want to have fun and do you want to just say it as a whole? Because
because I mean, Fletcher is still here.
Yeah, Fletcher's still here, but he's not the Fletcher of back then.
But I mean, who else are you replacing with? Because you got to have two DTs.
So you're talking about Fletcher. So for here, you have Hargrave, and then you could also talk about Jordan Davis if you want. The 2 years or back in 2017, it was who was the other DT? It wasn't Bo Allen, right? Bo Allen was a backup.
Was it Benny?
No.
It was 93. I thought it was Benny Logan.
No, Benny was in Kansas.
Timmy Jernigan.
Timmy Jernigan.
Sure
you pull up Timmy Jernigan and Benny Logan. Listen, bitch, you're gonna get a dark skinned dude with a gold tooth. That's what I'm just saying.
Okay, Timmy Jernigan. So I'd go Hargrave.
Timmy was a problem too.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was.
I'd go Hargraves at the other DT spot. I would go Hargraves.
So you go Fletcher, Cox, and Hargrave.
Yeah.
So and we're picking 2 DNs or 3?
2.
Reddick.
It's hard not to pick this defensive line now because they had 70 sacks.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so you got between.
I feel like we're making it more complicated. How can we replace that? I mean, they were 2 away from the record.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, you got to go Reddick with 1 DN. I mean, the other one you either go BG
or John Collette.
Or you can even say, you can't knock Chris Long as well. That's tough. But I mean,
I think I'd go BG. I would go BG over Sweat.
Okay.
Yeah. Would anyone else go another route? No. Okay. Linebackers. I think. No. Come to think of it, Bradham was good.
Bradham's in there.
Bradham. So I think no. So would you do Bradham over TJ Edwards?
But see, are we just talking about this 3 linebackers, or we got to pick the position that they play?
2 linebackers.
It's probably for me it'd be Bradham and Edwards, because if you look at that 2017 roster and the linebackers, it was Bradham and Darnell Ellerby. What the fuck?
No, it was Bradham and Michael Kendricks.
But then we also had Ellerby as a third too.
As a third.
Correct.
Yeah.
See, I forgot about Kendricks, but Kendricks was so underrated, bro.
He was.
But he wasn't good in coverage. He was a good a downhill, he attacked, good blitzer. But I would take TJ smarter than Michael Kendricks.
So you would go TJ and Bradham?
I would go TJ and Bradham. So it'd be it'd be 1 from each. So
Bradham just doesn't like hotel lobbies or hotel lobbies.
Secondary, I think it's pretty easy. Corners, we would obviously go Slay and Bradbury. Safeties, this is easy. You're gonna go Malcolm Jenkins and I would assume Chauncey, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, and then nickel corner. Here's interesting. Avonte Maddox.
You go Chauncey or Avonte, or you go Patrick Robinson.
Patrick Robinson or Avonte Maddox.
Avonte.
I'd go Avonte.
Yeah, me too.
What was Avonte on that team as a rookie?
No,
yeah, next year.
It's the year after with Dallas.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. So, people are agreeing Avonte. All right, so that's that. Kickers is the same. Jake Elliott. Punters, I'm not even gonna go punters.
Wasn't it Sav Rocca?
Donnie Longball.
Donnie Jones.
Donnie Jones. I'd go Donnie Jones. I don't think
Donnie Jones.
Rocca's been good. Coaches.
I'll take Sipas.
Sipas. Coaches, defensive coordinator, Jim Schwartz or Johnny Gans. I'd go Johnny Gans.
Johnny Gannon.
Yeah, because I don't think Gannon's going to give up 440 some odd yards.
Yeah, Gannon, please.
And then
I go Gannon and on.
So after the media night Monday, they had on the little half an hour, the greatest games, Super Bowl 52.
Yeah.
And so many things stick out. Like just Carson's passive aggressiveness to Nick and saying it's being set up real nice for you. Yes, it is. And then Jim Schwartz coming up to Doug after they scored the go ahead touchdown. I'm gonna get you the ball back. Like, bitch, what the fuck you supposed to do? Like, what like is that your job? Like but the way he said it was like they didn't communicate at all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
so Schwartz or Gannon? I'm going Gannon.
Gannon all day.
Who thought we would be saying that?
I did. Frank Reich or Shane Steichen?
Steichen.
Oh God.
Ooh.
God.
Oh, this is tough.
That may be the toughest. This may be the toughest.
This is the tough one, yeah.
Now hold up, because I know what you're doing to me. Because the next one is probably the super tough one.
Yeah, of course the next one's a super tough one.
I'm not breaking it up. I'm going Frank Wright because I already know where I'm going.
Yeah, give me Frank.
You already know where I'm going with the next one.
Yeah, give me.
You go Frank, and then who you going head coach?
That's not even a question.
Sirianni.
Dougie.
Dougie VP.
Dougie P all the way.
Yes, sir.
It gotta be. I never wanted him not to be the coach.
Right.
And then he takes a year off and he comes back and he proves like, listen, bitches, Philly wasn't a fluke. I can coach.
Yeah.
Right. I would.
He did torch us. He also had Tyreek Hill.
I love Sirianni's like charisma and everything like that. But I'm going Dougie P. I'm going Dougie P.
100%.
It's funny. I'm going Doug, but I think Sirianni is more Philly than Doug, which is weird.
Yes, he's
definitely more Philly than Doug.
That's his personality, how he is, how he moves, everything about him. He fully integrates and understands this fan base in this city.
Yes,
and he relishes in that. It seems like it's naturally him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Doug is a little bit more different, a little bit more laid back. Hey guys, get some ice cream. Make sure you get some ice cream and get back.
That's the energy you saw out of him.
But no, Doug. I get Doug his flowers. He can coach. He can coach his ass off.
Yep. Yeah. It's tough. It's really tough between the two. It's hard to pick. It's really hard to pick. All right, so this is a fun exercise. I think, but I didn't keep track. But I think like it was almost down the middle. But I think from what I remember, it leaned toward this team because we had a lot of people from this team just carried over. Good exercise. So a few more questions. This one's a little quicker. If I heard this on, if you listened to the Philly Special podcast today, you would have heard this question. I thought it was a great question. If you're Howie Roseman, right? And you're in the 2022 draft, but someone told you that you are going to be in the Super Bowl this year, would you have done that draft differently? Like, would you have drafted someone else aside from Jordan Davis and Cam Jurgens for your first two picks?
No.
I would not have, but I don't know
with the first two. No.
Yeah. Davis. So AJ Brown being traded. Trading for AJ Brown is a given. That still stays. But would you still have drafted Jordan Davis and then in the second round Cam Jurgens?
No. I mean, Davis, yes. Jurgens, I'm iffy on.
I'm definitely going. To me, I'm definitely going Jurgens. Because Jurgens is handpicked by Kelce, and to be his successor. So I'm definitely going Jurgens. The Jordan Davis one is, I think, closer, but I think at the end of the day, I'd still draft Davis.
Okay, you talked me into it. The only thing I would say is I just wish we would have drafted Pacheco. That's it.
Yeah.
Really?
Pacheco, yeah.
Tariq Woolen and Pacheco, yeah. I would have loved that. That would have been a monster day 3.
Like I said, the best comp I heard to him, I was listening to Eagle Eye in the Sky. Shout out to Fran Duffy. and I forget, I think it was Ben Fennell. He said that he runs like Marion Barber, and that's the best comp I've heard.
Yeah.
He just
But
runs.
faster-
He runs angry, man.
Faster Marion Barber though. Much
Fucking
faster.
4. He hasn't even hit his peak. 4.3, bro.
Yeah.
You wait till they find out how they can get that bitch in the open field. I hope they don't find out Sunday. I can tell you that shit.
Yeah. Save it for next year.
Yeah, it's funny because I see it, but the yards don't meet what I see. Right, like Barber would get over 100 yards.
But I think also like
know-
Dallas was committed to the run more than Kansas City.
Yeah, Dallas ran more. Like Pacheco doesn't. Pacheco's also learning still. Like Pacheco's vision is still hit or miss. It's still improving. So like, yeah, like his vision isn't there. But when you see like the aggressiveness as a runner, like it's pretty significant. Like it's like taking Marion Barber and giving him rockets. But in terms of that, but yeah, Marion Barber's his rest in peace, by the way. Like Pacheco's vision isn't there yet. It's he's still working on that. So that's why, Nick, to your point.
Yeah, like I just looked up his numbers. Like I was just thinking, like, has he even run for 100 yards this year?
I think he had 1 or 2 games, but I mean, I'm looking at it like him running his style of running with our O-line. Like the 2 touchdowns that Miles had in a conference championship game, he wasn't touched at all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying,
our
like,
O-line is special though. So, like,
but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, I just feel like you right now. That's the one thing we're missing. I mean, Gainwell, yeah, he's still on a rookie deal, but he's coming up too. You have Pacheco behind Miles. You can. I mean, would you want to go into next year with Pacheco as your lead back? Maybe not, but this how the philosophy is. You would have another top talent under a low end rookie deal.
I would. I think also you got to consider the Chiefs don't run a lot, and Chiefs go by committee. Like when it comes to like the ground game, they go to Pacheco, but then like McKinnon's are passing down back. McKinnon gets a lot of passing down work, but they don't even run the ball a lot. They're still like, I think their ratio is still like around 70-30. So he doesn't get as much volume and reps to be able to get those yards. But
he gets Miles Sanders numbers.
No, I think Miles gets more in terms of attempts.
Nah, Miles' attempts was up this year, wasn't it?
I mean, it was up. I'm not saying it was down. I'm not saying it was down, but I mean, he gets that 12 to 15 reps a game.
I think Pacheco's less. I can look at it. I don't know the exact numbers. I have a feeling like Pacheco hasn't consistently gotten that high of carries each game especially ever since Clyde went down. Clyde got hurt, and then.
But and Clyde is back now, though, right?
Yeah, Clyde is back.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody worry about that shit.
Yeah. So.
I mean, he can't stay healthy.
What do you think you're gonna come back on the Super Bowl after not playing all year and just fall?
No, it's
Right.
still Pacheco and McKinnon.
They got to worry about whatever bug they got going on right now, and pray to God it's not COVID.
Oh, what was that a fart or?
I don't know what that was.
No,
Dynasty 215. He does ask, who else would you draft if we don't get who else do you get? You draft Hamilton. He's pretty much saying like, who else would you draft instead of Davis? Would you get Hamilton? Because if you get Hamilton, we don't get Chauncey. So that's a good point. I mean, I forget who it was, but they said if you know you're going to the Super Bowl, you draft Christian Watson with that pick. So imagine if we had Christian Watson, AJ Brown, and Devontae Smith.
Oh my God.
No, I actually saw it. I think I sent it to y'all where they redrafted the 2022 draft, and we ended up with Trayvon Walker.
Oh,
That's
right.
what I mean. Like I'll take that shit all. I mean,
Yeah.
Trayvon and AJ. Then maybe you actually break the record for the Bears, even though you're doing it in 17 games. You have an extra game.
Yeah. And Dynasty also says Andy runs committee. So yep, that's pretty much it.
So Pacheco had 170 rushing attempts.
And then Miles had what?
270.
Hold please.
Miles this year had 259.
Yeah.
Yeah, 259. So yeah, he got work. Pacheco will get more work next year.
But that's what I'm saying. Like
he's yellow. He's definitely still raw. He's still like his vision was bad coming out Don't tell your cousin I said that, or don't tell him I said that. I'm just being real.
I think he's out there. He's in Arizona already.
Yo, yeah. I know.
He's no. I mean, my cousin, how we're related. He's out there.
Yeah, he's already out. Oh, okay,
he's out there already.
That's good. I saw that post he made on Facebook, and I shared it. It was a good post.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was good.
That was his dad, I think. You saw Pacheco's post or the dad's post, the one I shared?
Post. Yeah, the dad's post that you shared. Yeah. Yeah, that was a good post.
Yeah.
Was he getting flack for that?
No. I mean, it just listen, 80, I would say 80. What would you say the percentage of our any fan base just doesn't know what the fuck they talking about?
90.
Okay.
Maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe it's closer to 70 or 80.
Probably 83, 80. Maybe.
So
maybe I'm just being generous.
You just got dumbass people coming up to you like, are you rooting for the Eagles? Or are you rooting for your son? Like, what kind of fucking question is that?
I'm rooting for my son.
Exactly. Like you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I think
your heart is split.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you can root for your son and still root for your team. And I don't think it has to even be one or the other. Like, you're gonna root for your son all day, but you know your team is your team. So I think it's pretty obvious. I think
has Darrelle Revis head always been shaped like that,
like an oval?
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. Ryan does ask. Well, we'll get to this question and then we'll switch it up. We'll move on to the second quarter. But Ryan does ask, how do you think we address the running back room after the season? Does Miles come back? Do we go with Kenny at RB1? Do we draft running back one? I think we've all pretty much stayed consistent with what with our stance all year, which I'll reiterate. And if you guys change your stance, you can. But we think that Howie's going to offer him a team-friendly deal. It's going to be up to Miles whether he takes it or not. But chances are, most likely, Miles will get bigger money elsewhere for another team. So if he walks, I think you draft a running back, and your two guys are that running back and Kenny, or for me, if you don't find a running back in the draft, just roll with Kenny and Trey Sermon. I wouldn't be opposed to that, but I don't know if anyone else agrees. But I think that's what you do. Kenny can't be a lead guy. Kenny's an awesome complimentary committee.
Oh shit! Shout out to Joe Klecko real quick. I'm watching the NFL honors. That's Dan Klecko's dad. I didn't know he was a Hall of Fame finalist.
Robert Revis looks like he could play linebacker right now.
He's big as shit.
He got big.
He did get big.
Got big.
Last time I saw him, he was on I Am Athlete, and he didn't look that big, but maybe, I don't know. Rondé Barber. Sheesh. Who did they announce so far for the Hall of Fame?
So it was Revis, DeMarcus Ware. I don't know the third guy that came out. And Joseph Klecko, and that guy was just a Dallas Cowboy, the only player to ever win the Super Bowl MVP in the loss, whoever that dude was.
So right now, Rondé Barber just got in there, and they announced that Rondé Barber.
So they're in already?
Yeah, Joe Thomas.
Yeah, this is the new.
DeMarcus Ware, and Zach Thomas.
DeMarcus Ware. Okay.
Those are the ones so far. Joe Klecko.
So you said Zach Thomas already got introduced?
Well, I'm looking at Twitter. I don't know if he got introduced per se, but they said he will be in the 2023 class.
Oh, is
Rondé really a Hall of Famer?
I don't know.
Well, he's in it now, so he's
in now.
I mean, but he was on a great ass team. That defense was.
There's
that defense had four Hall. Now, if he's in it, had four Hall of Famers on it. Lynch, Derrick Brooks, and Sapp, and now him.
Yep.
Yeah, Zach Thomas just got introduced. Who else are they doing? There's the Marcus Ware, there's the Rob Revis. Who was the first one?
Joe Thomas.
Yeah, I keep forgetting Joe Thomas lost a mad.
Dude, he looks great.
Mad weight. He dropped
great
so
now.
much weight after he stopped playing.
Yeah.
Man, he's been fit. I remember that. All right, so let's
Monday and
switch
change
it
it
out.
all
We're
up.
at an hour in, so let's switch to the second quarter of the show. Let's get into this game. Let's dive into it now. Before we do, Mr. PY, can you tell us who it's brought-
PY, sir.
I mean, sorry,
What?
OGP. My bad. Mr. P.
Brought to you by Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, SpecializedPhysicalTherapy.com, Dr. Paul Bidell, locations in Burlington and also Cherry Hill, I believe. No.
Yeah.
Cherry Hill? Okay. He's our doc. Make him yours. Reach out to him, SpecializedPhysicalTherapy.com.
Nice. All right, guys. Let's do this first one side of the ball first. Eagles offense, Chiefs defense. How do you think we approach this? What are the keys? What's your game plan if you are Nick Sirianni and Shane Steichen? And what are the key matchups? What do you do on offense to win this game? Anyone can go.
Figure it out.
I mean, really, it's just keep doing what you've been doing. I think it's pretty simple. Keep doing what you've been doing all year, dominating the line of scrimmage on awesome defensive line. I think we fine. To be honest with you, I really. I mean, I know it's a cliche. They always say the game's won at the line of scrimmage, but at both lines of scrimmage on offense and defensive line, and it's not even close in my opinion. So as long as we keep running the ball, keep aggressive, and keep doing what we've been doing here, I don't think Jalen Hurts needs to have like this fantastic game or play like at an elite level per se. I think if we just keep doing what we've been doing these last two, I think we'll be just fine.
Obviously, it goes without saying, Chris Jones, try to figure out a way not to let him wreck the game. He did it against the AFC Conference Championship game, but it's definitely a step up in competition.
Yeah.
Spags is going to bring something different that he probably hasn't put on tape, but the thing is their secondary is super, super young. So take advantage of that. Take advantage of that. Deep balls outside the hash. Jalen throws those well outside the numbers. And just impose your will. I mean, I can't say it enough. There's not a team in the league that's built like us in our offensive line.
Nope.
I don't care what they can prep for, how many fucking weeks you got. You can't prep for 5 dudes that's pushing 340 plus that just want to run you down.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously outside of Kelce, but Kelce can get to that second level. You make those linebackers think. You forget we had Dre Greenlaw and Fred Warner sitting there thinking to themselves, like, they've never been hesitant. They've always been instinctive. See downhill, go get ball. They were sitting there waiting because they couldn't read what can happen. So it's a lot of pressure on Nick Bolton. I forget, and Willie Gay, and I forget the other guy too. As their third linebacker, but you want to get them out of base. I actually want to try to keep them in base defense as possible, because you keep them in base defense, just run the ball, speed up tempo, control the game, control the line, and Jalen just has to make timely throws. Just I don't think they can force him to make throws in tight windows because we probably want to throw outside the numbers.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Who else?
Go ahead, PY. You ain't say shit since I've been on.
I don't know if he's asleep or paying attention.
I am paying attention. You guys are so mean to me. All you do is
It's not guys. It's
No,
not guys.
me.
It's one person.
Just me. It's just me.
It's just
Did you not get enough hugs as a kid? Is that why you belittle me so much?
answer the question.
Answer the question.
Jake clapped him up.
So mean. No, you got to air it deep. Like you got to go out these corners. They're young. They're inexperienced. When you have guys like Devontae, you have guys like AJ Brown. Even Quez Watkins to a certain degree. You can test these guys. Like you can. I don't think their secondary is that good. Whether they like the 18th ranked secondary.
It's kind of middle. It's the middle of the pack.
Middle of the pack, yeah.
McDuffie's a good slot guy.
McDuffie's been playing
solid.
McDuffie's playing pretty good.
Yeah.
Jalen Watson's pretty good too. He's big. And they also got Brian Cook. It was a safety from Cincinnati.
Oh.
Yep. We liked him, but go ahead.
Yeah, we did. I mean, but like people I said, they're young. Like
They're young. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'll switch it up.
Baptize them.
I don't want to reiterate what everybody's saying. I don't want to like. It's been 2 weeks of podcasts about the Super Bowl.
Right.
Like 2 weeks. Like how much? What am I going to add that hasn't already been said? Let's just go win the fucking game by any means. Excuse me, Chucks, if you have me.
Yes.
What?
Mahomes just won MVP. Let's go.
Oh, Mahomes won MVP. Oh, okay.
All right, we just won the Super Bowl.
That's what I want to hear.
Congrats, guys. We won.
I just want Broad Street. That's it.
Yeah.
yeah,
it's
my
not
name
fun.
tonight, Nate, was POB, Parade on Broad, Party on Broad.
I just want Broad Street.
Let's go.
I'm from Philly. I know some of you guys are from Jersey, but I'm
I
from
was born
Philly,
in Philly.
and I will be on Broad Street this time without my wife, because last time we were on Broad Street with my wife, she wanted to go home. We went the opposite way. It was like Independence Day when he was driving with his dad. Well, you think we're going to go to Washington and won't be there? It was the same kind of scenario. We went the opposite way
Oh
where the traffic was going.
Ugh.
Oh
Come
my
on,
not
David.
coming. She's not coming. God damn it. I will be down there with Broad Street with my guys. I can't wait. I don't really have much to say in terms of the game flow, X's and O's, et cetera, et cetera. There's so much that's already been said. Let's just go, man. Let's go, Birds, man.
We've done
That's
it
all
to
I
death.
Let's go.
Nicely said. Nicely said. For me, I'll keep it simple because you guys had good points. Just be who you are, who you've been all season. I think they can't. I don't think they can stop our run game. And then you run the ball. Also, running the ball means if you continue to turn that clock, that's left possessions for Patrick Mahomes, and you want to be able to give Patrick Mahomes as little amount of chances to possess the ball as possible. So run the ball, and you have to hit on those deep shots, just like you guys said.
Yep.
It's
Can't miss them.
not simple. I don't want to say it's simple, but it is simple at the same time. This team, the Eagles, just have to be who they have been on offense. And I know there's been questions like because Hurts hasn't looked great as a passer the last few games since he's been hurt. To me, I am not worried. Like I can understand the hesitancy or the concern, but I am not worried. I believe now he's how many weeks has it been now? Like it's been
Eight?
8 weeks, 2 months, right?
Nah, it was.
Roughly 2 months.
Well, did they play the Bears after the first Giants game or before?
After?
So it's like 7.
So 7, so almost 2 months, right? So since it's almost 2 months since that injury, he might not be 100%, but I believe he's closer to 100% than Mahomes is. And both of these guys, and I'm not saying Mahomes is going to be hurt and we'll be able to take advantage. I'm just saying that I am not concerned about Hurts or Mahomes injury. They're going to ball out. So I think Hurts is going to reestablish that deep passing game and just do that. I'm not worried about Chris Jones because I think Chris Jones, as great of a player he is, I think our offensive line will be able to take care of him. I think there's too many studs on our offensive line.
Speaking to that point real quick, I've heard from numerous other people podcasts, Chris Jones' biggest attribute is his get off, right? I literally heard 4 dudes say, not a problem. They're not concerned with him versus Lane. And they said the biggest matchup, the biggest advantage that they have is that they line Jones up over Sayamalu.
Yeah.
That's the biggest one.
Yep. Yeah, they line him inside. But even with then, like I believe we can play keep away. You know what I mean? I think we can play keep away with him. So we can make sure that he's always on the back side of whatever run play we have. So Chris Jones will have his plays, but I don't think he's going to make a huge impact to where he's going to alter the game like he did against the Bengals. So I don't think it's not going to be that type of.
It's exactly 8 weeks to the day since the Bears game.
2 months. I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be perfectly fine.
And just like real quick, just like we had with San Fran, it was Bosa with 18.5 sacks. Next one dropped the fuck off. Chris Jones, 15 and a half sacks. It's off a cliff after that. I'm more concerned with Frank Clark. That's for some reason Frank Clark is a big game pass rusher. In the playoffs, he turns it on. But with that being said, they haven't faced a quarterback like ours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's everything down to the record, down to the points scored. It's an even match. Like Nate's kind of said, it's hard to look at this game with X's and O's because it literally is the epitome of what I know you really haven't disagreed with what Nate said, but it really is the great player, the best player in the league versus the best team in the league.
Yeah.
The best roster. It's Alabama versus Clemson. Insert Deshaun Watson instead of Patrick Mahomes. That's what this is. Who's going to win? Like Gorilla Monsoon would say in early old school WWF, it's the
motherfucker said Gorilla Monsoon.
The unstoppable force versus the movable object. This is WrestleMania 6, Hulk Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior, and motherfuckers is split down the middle. That's exactly what this is. If I hear one more time, the Eagles are the better team, but I'm gotta ride with the Chiefs because everybody is so scared to pick against the best player in the league. Listen, all I'll say is this. We slayed a giant the first time to win one. We'll slay another giant to win the second one.
Yep.
And now this is the biggest. I've heard so many things that the coaching is. You think Andy don't want to win this game? Listen, mishap, bad time management, bad coaching decision. Andy hasn't shown up in a long time because you had the greatest player in the league cover up for your mishaps.
Yep.
There will come a time in this game where you may have to make a coaching decision. I don't know if Andy can do it. You think he don't want to win this that bad?
Oh, he wants this more than anything.
To me, honestly, and they can chime in here. I don't give a fuck what Vegas say. All the pressure is on them.
Yep. This is their legacy.
All the pressure is on because this is your third Super Bowl in 4 years. You've already went 1-1. Everybody knows that you have the best player. You are the far better coaching staff. You look across that coaching staff, you have 4 rings between Spags and Reid and multiple years of experience. And you got the best player in the league.
That's a really good question. Who has more pressure on them?
It's the Chiefs. They lose. They go 1-3. They go 1-3 in the Super Bowl, and that is not a good look.
No, but 15-1, 16-1 right now.
But here's my thing. Remember that question we had a couple of weeks ago when it was Trevor Lawrence and Justin Herbert, and we asked that question: who does it mean more if they win or lose?
Oh yeah.
This is very, very because listen, if Jalen lose, he wasn't supposed to be that good. Right. He wasn't supposed to be here anyway. People already expected him to fail. People already expected and doubting him to be on that level. Hell, they doing it with the team because they said, oh, y'all cakewalk wasn't playing nobody. If you listen to any of the San Fran players, oh, it would have been different. We had all this, that, and the third to expose them. All that shit. They've been hearing this all week since they've been there. You see what I'm saying? So nobody's talking about the Chiefs. Only people talking about the Chiefs, you didn't hear one player sit here and say, from Cincinnati, say, yeah, I can't. The Chiefs distance, I hope. Ain't nobody saying that. And all the heat from every outside source is coming towards us because we ain't. Even though we the home team in the Super Bowl, we still ain't proved ourselves yet. We still ain't played our best game yet. So everybody expecting us to lose. I'm not expecting us to lose, but I'm just talking about from how them dudes gonna take that field on Sunday night. We're gonna see. And that's the biggest thing. I want all the hoopla. I love what Sirianni's doing, keeping it like a normal week, keep it in the moment. The game is the biggest thing. Forget all the hoopla. It's just the game plan. Take care of business. Take care of what you got to take care of. And once again, I'll look at our North Star is Jalen Hurts. Yep. He's going to be the tempo and the rhythm for the team. If he flatline, he calm, I think everybody else is going to be calm.
Yep.
Yeah. Well said.
It's disrespectful, man. Now I'm getting upset.
Well, and if you think about it too, you look at the whole trajectory going back, all the way back to Alabama when Jalen Hurts was benched. He sat on the bench for a year, watched Tua play in front of him, won up a playoff game, with Alabama, and then they went right back to Tua. Transfer Stoma has success. People continue to doubt him. Everything that's built up to this moment is what Jalen Hurts has worked for this entire time. This is literally the build up to this is how this is how you write movies. Like, this is something out of a movie. If he ends up winning, this is like one of the all-time feel-good in sports.
I just got to say, your glitch is on point. It just
It's like an echo.
It's just,
Yeah, the echo hasn't left.
It's echoing the right words, right? I just want to add that to your monologue. Sorry.
He's doing it on purpose.
Yeah, no, that's weird. It's weird. Am I echoing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jake sound like
Not every word.
DJ strobe light.
Yeah, just every word. It's like, am I echoing? You're like, am I echoing? But it's like the one word. The emphasis word is echoing, so it works. Don't worry about it.
Sound like a mixtape.
I fuck with it.
Yeah, we rock with that. I think that it's really incredible because you can't. I talked about earlier how 2017, like you couldn't write it in a movie. Well, Hurts' story, yeah, like you said, Jake, it's another thing where you can't write this stuff. I keep thinking about last year after we lost that playoff game to the Bucs, and he was made fun of, and we criticized him. So I'm not even absolving myself. Yeah. We criticized him, saying he can't read a defense. The Bucs players were screaming out loud, he can't read the defense. But he told Devontae Smith, like, we can do it. Like, we're almost there. And he said in his press conference, we're this close. We mocked him. We doubted that. We laughed at that. Yeah. But look what he's done. Like, I always rooted for the guy. I think we all of us here, me, Pete, I'm sure you guys, Jake, Nate, and PY in your shows before, like, I rooted for the guy hard because how do you not root for a guy like that? That leadership, those intangibles. But I question his ceiling. Like, I question, like, how good can he get? I know that every year since college, he's improved. Every year he's gotten better. And I expect that to be the case. But exactly when does that improvement, when does that development stop? We've seen this year, his ceiling is much higher than any of us expected.
Yeah.
Any of us expected. And it's like the way he talks, and you said it earlier, OGP, about his quote. And that's like just one of the many. Like, you hear him talk, and you want to run through a wall. Like, I want to run through a wall, and I
my quarterback.
Anything if he's talking, I can feel I can do anything. Like, if I was on his team, I could run for 100 yards in a game if I was his running back. Like, and I'm no one. Like, that's how he makes me feel as a fan. So it's hard to. It's hard to explain in the words, but this level of confidence, again, this level of confidence in this team and in Jalen Hurts is something we've never felt. And it's hard to, I said this before the Niners game, remember, it's just hard to see Jalen losing that game. Now, this is different. This is against the number one team in the AFC. This is against the best quarterback in the game. This is against a Hall of Fame head coach. So it's a different animal. It's going to be much, much tougher. But when you hear Jalen talk, you just can't help but feel like we've got as good a chance as any to do this. Because, and this is why I get mad at people who try to make the argument and try to discredit Hurts because we have so much talent around, because he has such great talent around him. Yes, he has such great talent around him. But I don't know if there are many people out there that could elevate this roster to the heights they're at now as well as Jalen Hurts is doing right now. Like, I'm not saying he's the only one that can, but I don't think I can count. I don't think I'll need more than one hand to count how many quarterbacks in the league can elevate this team like he has. He's that great of a leader. He's that great of a player already. So I am so confident. I don't want to say I'm cocky, because obviously there is a chance we lose. But again, I've never felt this level of confidence in this team. It's foreign, but we've been riding this confidence and this belief all season long, and that's not stopping this Sunday. So I do believe in Hurts against this, against this Chiefs team.
Yeah. I mean, it's well said. Like, I don't know how he compartmentalizes it all. I don't. Just from the critics at every level, and I really think this is the closest thing. How can I say this without because he hasn't reached this level yet, right? But it's only been one other African American athlete that I've known that's been groomed since he was a child. Now, Jalen wasn't on Johnny Carson at the age of 4 years old. He wasn't on there. I seen Jake smile, so he may already know where I'm going with this.
Yep.
I do.
Earl Woods had Tiger from a young age and told him what you can be and said, son, this is what I'm going to grow you up to. I want you to reach your potential. Hurts' father has been there the whole time. He's been under the spotlight. I'm not taking nothing away from Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is God-given talent. He wanted to play baseball first.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday night is the culmination of every day that he went to work. Him and his dad grinded. He's been groomed for this. I want him to win so bad just so he can let all that shit out.
Yep. He deserves it so much.
You see what I'm saying? Because you were destined to be something and people still didn't believe in you. And obviously Tiger hit that ceiling way earlier and just kept going and kept going and kept going and kept going. I'm not sitting here telling you Jalen Hurts going to be the next Tom Brady. You feel what I'm saying? And that's not what I'm telling you. I'm not saying he's going to be the next Patrick Mahomes. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is this dude feel like he's worth for something that people have told him at every level you can't have or you not good enough. Even after putting it on wax for 17 weeks and the 2 weeks that he was out, Christmas Eve, we looked like we had it. That next game was absolute shit. I can't even sit here and tell you, Chucks, any other quarterback in the league that can present the running issue the way we won the conference championship game. Outside of Justin Fields, outside of Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen, that's probably the only three that I could think that can make Fred Warner and Drake Greenlaw take another half a second or a second to think about where the ball going.
Yep, I agree.
That Burrow can't do that. Mahomes can't do that.
No.
If you want to run that system, that's just how it is. So, like I said, from the first night, that dude said, I'm sorry, I got to apologize to you. And Jalen said, why? Because I never thought you would lead your team to a Super Bowl. Okay, cool. And moved on to the next question.
Yep.
It's like, bro, like what I don't understand. And then really, Hassan Reddick, nothing. Sirianni, nothing. Brandon Graham, nothing. So it's not Jalen Hurts is the biggest slight, right? We can see that he's the focal point. But this team has been slighted. It's almost like this 2022 season didn't happen. And I can see it now with the illness and all that, whatever it ends up being, if they're not 100%. We probably still won't be believers. That's cool. Go, don't worry about it. We'll come back next year and we'll do it again. Because I don't see how you stop the offense outside of us stopping ourselves. Yeah. You can load 7 in the box. We got the wide receivers on the outside that can kill you in the game too. Mm-hmm. Now, when Devontae the bigger question is, now outside of Jalen get paid, when Devontae need to get paid too, that's going to be an issue. But how we'll make it work somehow, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
It's frustrating. Like with 2017, I really felt like we was there on Carson's back. I mean, Carson carried us there for those first 14 weeks, right? 14 weeks.
Yep.
And then Nick just got Joe Flacco-esque hot in the playoffs and went on a run. Where this has been, I'm looking at the schedule now, I'll probably say week 6, it felt like we was on to something special because the way we was winning. The best we looked so far, in my opinion, was week 13, week 14. 35-10 against Tennessee, 48-22 against New York. But in those games, we ran the ball. I think honestly, I said this now, even through looking at the whole schedule, 35-10 to Tennessee, because at that point, Tennessee was above 500. It was leading the division. That to me, that's our best quality win of the regular season, because you took something away from them that they couldn't do, and you hit on a way that supposedly was one of their strengths, and you made it a weakness. So they've been on that level. Can't fault somebody for playing the teams that they beaten, but not. I'm just saying handily. Like Jalen Hurts threw for 120 yards. So it's like, all right, y'all want this dude to throw for 250 when they up 4 touchdowns. For what? Why?
Yeah.
What, like what? Why? We dominating teams now. I just don't know, man. I really do think. I think I've seen this somewhere. Marcus said it. Coach Marcus from Pro Fan Talk that comes on before us. He said they love the haters because they want to be us.
Yep.
That's. I don't know why.
They want to see us fail so bad.
Yeah.
Like whether it's Hurts, whether they don't like his attitude and how confident he is, or it's Sirianni. For whatever reason, they despise Sirianni. They're like, he's too confident. He's making faces. Blah blah blah. How is this? Whoever Jason Kelce's at. Whatever, man. You don't like us. That's great. You don't think we deserve this? That's fine. You don't think we should be here? That's fine. We didn't beat nobody? That's fine. Guess what? We're going to go prove with them. Excuse my French. We're going to go prove with them fucking Sunday. We're going to win the Super Bowl, and we're going to beat Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. And guess what? We're going on broad. And like Pete said, party on broad, baby. Let's go. Screw the haters. Screw what everyone else has to say. No more T-shirts. No more slogans. No more bullshit. We're going to open up a can of whoop ass and beat that hamburger loving fat ass on national TV. We're gonna whoop Grimace's ass, and we're gonna go on Broad Street.
I like it.
Like it too.
It's tough, and it's like what do you said in the chat? It's like if I think Nate said it's like, yo, if I'm Andy Reid, I'm calling Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch like, yo, tell y'all boys shut the fuck up.
Who knew they were such pussies?
Bro, like, come on.
Yeah,
that's all coaching. I'm just saying it right there. It's all coaching.
Yeah, I didn't know how many sore losers. Like, and it's crazy too because it'd be different if the game was close, but the game wasn't even close.
No,
they lost by 30.
You call us lucky when you're on your third quarterback in the NFC Championship, and we're the lucky ones. All right, come on, man.
And then on top of that, the biggest swing in that game. Listen, McCaffrey, we forgot how to tackle. It was people forget it was 7-7. What did we do that next drive?
We marched down the field.
Sanders scored on a 13-yard run untouched, where Jason Kelce went to he rolled out. He got to the second level with Dre Greenlaw, and Greenlaw wanted nothing. He didn't want no parts.
Yeah, and they kept making stupid penalty after stupid penalty after stupid penalty.
So it's like when we needed answers, when we needed drives, we got them.
Yeah, and they can't even the whole thing about you guys the refs were favoring you guys, like those were legit penalties. Like, come on, those
were blatant.
They were blatant, like obvious calls. They like don't blame us because you lost your composure and you couldn't stop committing penalties. That's on you guys.
My mom would have flew those flags.
And I think what else bothers me, like, it's not like they're coming out and saying, like, because I get it. Like, you had a good team, a really good team, and you were playing really well up to that point, and it hurts because you felt like you should be in the Super Bowl. I totally understand that. I understand, like, being hurt as a player. I get it. And I wouldn't expect them not to be hurt. But it's this whole cockiness and arrogance of saying, oh, we would have beaten them. Like they're so confident that it would have been a win, like no matter what.
Yeah.
You can,
they're the new Saints.
At least go out and say like it would have been a different game. That's fine. But to go out there like what Debo said, like, oh yeah, we would have beaten them by double digits. What?
I didn't hear the double digits part.
Yeah, you said
double digits?
Yeah. Like, come on. Like, it doesn't matter who's back there quarterback. It really doesn't matter. Our pass rush was getting there. Our pass rush was going to get there. That's why Josh Johnson got hurt, because the pass rush was getting there. So it's this arrogance and this sentiment from them. They're so confident they would have won that game significantly. And and Ayuk's thing, and like these Niners fans saying like, oh, like our secondary was, or we had a game plan that we were going to attack their secondary with double moves, because they bite on so many double moves, and they attack these routes, these jump routes. We had a game plan. We were going to work it. Like, okay, you wanted to attack them. You wanted to attack our secondary. Fine. You have, in order to get those long developing routes, you got to protect the quarterback. That's the other part of it. But if you don't have time to protect the quarterback, it doesn't matter how open you get down the field. And Honest NFL, that Twitter guy, the former
Genius.
The former scout, he made a great point, because he replied to one of my tweets. He's like, the coaches for the Eagles made it a coaching point that game to jump routes, to attack routes early, because they knew that beyond that, the pass rush was going to be able to get there. And it was a great game plan, because that's exactly what happened. So Bradbury playing that, so Ayuk got open on that play. Purdy got hurt. Yes, he got open. That's fine. But Bradbury is attacking that route. So that plays a part into why he got beat, because he's jumping it, because they know that the Niners, in order for them to have any offensive success, they got to pass the ball quick. Anything beyond that, our pass rush is getting to them. So that's what you call coaching the defense and playing unified from the first level to the second level to the third level of defense. So it's like these Niners players don't realize that, hey, you got to consider that there's other elements to the defense, not just the coverage. I don't know. It's like I'm trying to explain rocket science here to the Niners players, but it's not rocket science. It's simple. This is basic football, and I don't know why it's absolutely insane hearing now even their kicker Robbie Gould is saying that, like, is talking trash, saying like, oh, if you make him a passer, your defense is gonna have a good game. Like, are you serious?
You're
right
a kicker.
now?
Sit the hell down.
I just don't know why they're so willing just to voice. They're
hurt. They're hurt, and
lose with class, bro. Like, I don't remember hearing all this shit last year when they lost to the Rams, and it was a quarterback fault.
You did.
You know what I mean? Like, or it was Jimmy Ward's fault for not catching the ball, catching the Stafford interception.
Turkisky tart.
Like, I guess they just felt like, okay, well, we had a game plan, we couldn't execute it because our dumbass coach tried to put the second string tight end on the true best. Well, I would say the quickest, one of the quickest DNs in the league, and you just took it for granted that whatever his name was would be able to block Reddick long enough to get the ball out. I love it though, because you know what it is. That we haven't had a chance to smell ourselves yet. We haven't had a chance to feel ourselves. Every time the Eagles feel like they can let their guard down, or they can relax and relish in their own success. Not even internally, because I don't think Jalen and them, the leaders, will let them do it. But you got outside noise coming in and saying, "Yeah, like, nah." I love it. I can't. Somebody said that they can't wear the dog mask and the underdog. Why can't they? Because everything I'm hearing, right, they're getting treated like they're the underdog. If not, unless I'm reading it wrong.
We're favored, and they're still treating us like we're the ugly stepkids.
That's
like,
what I'm
what
saying.
The hell, man?
Yeah,
it's just, I don't know, man. Like, I'm like, at this point, I'm 6:30.
I'm so sick of talking about it. I just need it to be Sunday. Because it's been like Nate said, it's been played to death. The 2 weeks have been like 1,000 freaking paper cuts. Like, I'm done. Like, I'm ready to go. Like, I'm ready for it to be Sunday. I don't care about anything else. I'm just trying to get through these next 2 days and watch football. I need this Super Bowl more than I need air.
Wow. What you've been through, I would be careful saying that, sir.
Luckily, I have my inhaler.
There you go.
Anything else, guys, from the game you guys want to cover?
Nah, I mean it's not even really point talking about our defense versus our offense. We know you can't shut Mahomes down.
Mhm.
Can't.
You
can
only contain him.
That's it. You just hope to contain him. That's it. Screen game contain. McKinnon try to McCain. Try to
Screen
McCain.
game. Stop the screen game. Stop the screen game. That's all.
Yes.
Stop the screen game.
Andy Reid's wet dream fetish.
Yeah, that's my number one key. If we're going to talk
And Gannon, take chances on the back end. Do something exotic. You got the pass rush to be able to do it.
Make sure you catch the ball. If you have an opportunity for an interception, please catch the ball. You cannot give up.
You can't drop Mahomes interceptions because he will gift wrap them to you. He will gift wrap them to you because he will do some stupid shit. You'll marvel at the things he does with it, but like he will give you opportunities to intercept that football.
Capitalize. You got to capitalize on those opportunities. Anything else, guys? Before we go to no huddle, and we'll hit hit everyone with some random stuff.
No, that's it for me. I'm not just win. I fuck a score, just win.
Just win, baby.
Just win, baby, win.
Playoffs.
Let's fast forward to our no huddle segment. Before we do, Alonzi Travel, specializing in creating the vacation of your dreams at Disney, Universal, or wherever your heart calls you. Let their talented team of travel experts, including our own Andy Ritz, create a custom vacation for you. That's Alonzi Travel. All right, guys. No huddle. Mr. Nate Money. Give me a rundown of some of your favorite prop bets that you're seeing so far. You don't have to like go out.
When are you doing your prop bet show, by the way? When are you doing your Super Bowl betting show?
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow. So give us a preview of like your prop bets that you're looking at. Don't give us like the whole thing, obviously, but
it's cool. We got people watching. I can give some plays out. You know what I mean? Some people might not be able to watch it tomorrow, but if you can, make sure you follow Money Pod Podcast, and I will give you the full slate of plays. But I will give you the best play, and you can't get this now, but the best play that I found was the team total for the Eagles over 24.5. I think they score over 24 points. I don't think there's been a lot of games where they haven't scored over 24 points this season. So I love that play right there. Right now it's at 26.5. So I like that play right there. Another play out there right now is Gainwell over 32.5 scrimmage yard. So scrimmage yards can be passing. Scrimmage yards can be receiving.
Yeah.
That's a really
good. That's a good one.
That's a good play. Right now, another Jim Boston Scott over 7.5 rushing yards is out there as well. I think he gets at least 3 or 4 carries, right? At least.
Yeah.
Right. So he would have to average under 2 carries. So that's another good play. And another Jim that we're going to go more in depth into and kind of find out, because we're talking about nothing but Eagles, but from a betting perspective, we got to look at both sides. So when you look at the other side, Patrick Mahomes right now is at 294 in terms of his passing yards. But the top guy for him to have passing yards is Travis Kelce at 79.5. So just say Travis gets 100, right? Just say he breaks it, he gets it over easy, he gets 100 yards for the game. Right. You still have almost 200 yards of passing that has to go to somebody else. The next closest guy after Travis Kelce is Juju at 39.5 yards.
So you're saying take the under.
Well, what I'm saying is that somebody's going to blow out their player prop.
Okay.
That's not named Travis Kelce.
Okay.
Who that is, you got to figure out and kind of see what the game plan is, and hopefully you kind of guess right. But the way they play, they spread the ball around a lot. He takes the matchups, counting who it is. So, MVS is a good option. McKinnon is another good option. Even the backup tight end in Gray is another good option as well.
They play a lot of 12 personnel, yeah.
So when you think about it, it's just like he's got 200 yards, and all these guys are like 20, 30 yards receiving. Like a lot of these guys are more likely going to go over. So that's something to look at least from the other side, because I know we're all Eagles fans here, or at least most of us. But when you look at betting wise, you have to take the fanboy out of it and bet with your money, bet with your wallet, bet what would make sense, and really try to take the fanboy out of it, because at the end of the day, there's only one color that matters, and it's green. And that's kind of cliche because we love and we bleed green. But in terms of money, it's only the color that matters is green. What's going to make me money? Doesn't matter what it is. What's me money? There's some rules that you want to follow. You're not going to bet against your team again in the Super Bowl. I get it. If you you feel like taking the Chiefs as a dog makes a lot of sense. I'm getting points and I'm getting plus money with Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to take that bet. So I get it. But at the end of the day, it's going to be like, we need to take the side of what's going to be plus EV money, what's going to make us money at the end of the day. Today we had a great day. I won over 2,500. No, was it 16? I'm sorry, 1,600 on the Justin Jefferson offensive rookie player of the year. Like I say it all the time, and it pays to listen. Tell a friend to tell a motherfucking friend. So, man, I got cliches. I got lines for days, bro. Lines for days. I don't know where they come from. It just kind of comes. But there's some good player props that we'll go more in depth. But those are the couple ones that I'm looking at. And you got to look at both sides. You can't be one-sided, even if you like one side from a betting perspective. You got to go with what makes sense from a betting perspective and a game flow perspective. So we'll have some long shots too. I'll give a real quick another best bet. If you want to look at it, one of the probably most popular bets of the Super Bowl, if not the most popular bet in the Super Bowl, is the coin toss. It starts the day for your Super Bowl betting. It is by far the best bet of the Super Bowl. Why? Because it is a true 50-50 bet. It is a true 50-50 bet. And when I say that, when you look at betting and you understand betting, you have plus EV plays, meaning there's a certain percentage of what your play is going to hit, meaning whether it be 60%, 70%, which is amazing. If you're a professional bettor and you're betting at 60%, that is amazing. Meaning for every 10 bets that you make, you're winning 6. That means you're cashing every single day, every single week, every single hour. The coin toss is a 50-50 bet. You cannot get any better odds than that. You really can't. You can flip a coin 1,000 times, 53, so what is that? 47 odds. It's the truest bet you'll ever see. When it's true 50-50, nothing attached. I got to look up. I forget off the odds what has hit the last maybe 10 or 15 Super Bowls.
Tails.
Now, I think heads has hit the last couple times, if I'm not mistaken. Like 2 or 3 times. 2 or 3 times heads has hit. So there's always that good tails never fails. But the only thing I can say, if you're going to bet anything, bet the coin toss. Right? Bet the coin toss. Gotcha. It's the only true 50-50 bet that you'll ever see anywhere in sports betting ever.
So, going to Nate's heads or tails thing, going all the way back to, just go back to Super Bowl 50, and I'll work my way up. So, Super Bowl.
Do you hedge that bet, though, Nate? Do you just hedge it both ways?
Hell no.
So Super Bowl 50, tails 51, tails 52, 53 heads, 4 tails, and the last 2 have been heads.
It's been heads, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought I saw. It's always a great bet. It really is. It's a true 50-50 bet. It's really what it comes down to. It's a true 50-50 bet. So I think from a betting perspective, if you don't know what to bet, you're new to betting. As always, like I say, follow Money Pop Podcast. We teach you how to bet. We make it simple. We make it easy for you guys to listen and understand. But the coin toss, out of all the bets that you can look at, the coin toss is your best EV play to bet? Yeah, you know what? Don knows. Another one.
Another one.
Another one.
Another one.
So here's
Another
another interesting thing. Going back to Super Bowl 49, whatever team won the coins ended up losing the Super Bowl.
Losing, yeah.
Wow.
Since Super 49. So that's interesting.
There's so many trends
Mm-hmm.
that you can look at. There's so many kind of things that kind of point you in the right direction. Like you guys were talking about earlier, the refs, right? The refs records for their specific teams.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many things they're going to do to try to influence you
Right.
in trying to bet. I see the report all the time on Twitter. New York. And this is per month. $1 billion in sports betting.
Oh, I bet.
Jersey. $1 billion in sports betting.
Jesus.
I think PA has dropped to maybe fifth or sixth.
Okay.
Probably like 600 million, 700 million. We're talking about over $2.5 billion in just East Coast sports betting. You think all these motherfuckers are winning money? Like they
No.
not winning,
No.
right? Like these people on the other side of the fence who are the house are making money, winning money. Like it's just insane. And to think about it that not every state can bet yet, man. I'm in the right.
Once every state can bet, man, that's over with.
I'm
Oh
in the
my
right
God.
type of business. I'm telling you that right
Yeah.
now. I'm in the right business of helping people try to win money. Everybody, one thing that everybody loves, that's free shit and free money. You can't lose with that combo. So that's what we try to do here at Money Pop Podcast. Like I said, go follow us on all social media platforms. But yeah, man, those are my keys right now for the bets. I've been drinking, so I'm talking too long. I think I talked on this show straight.
I'm good.
For a while, but there's a lot going on to kind of influence you. Like Drake just dropped like $1 million.
So that's how I know we're gonna win.
Yeah.
Yeah, like and just like, but he's like a lot of it's all like Chiefs bets.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, damn, he put that much money. It's just like, yo, you know, Drake loses a lot of money.
He does lose a lot of money.
So he loses a good amount. So
Okay.
there's a lot of trends to follow, a lot of stats out there to kind of listen to. But for me, I'm gonna let the fanboy talk to me, and if I go down with the ship, I go down with the ship.
There you
That's
go.
really what it comes down to.
Yep. NFL honors.
Okay.
These are the if you want to go over real quick. I mean, I'm trying to get the banner off real quick. So MVP Patrick Mahomes, Coach of the Year Brian Daboll, Comeback Player of the Year Geno Smith, AP Offensive Player of the Year Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, boy.
Defensive
You
Player
listen
of
to
the
the money pot in September. You got that money,
Year,
dog.
Defensive Player of the Year Nick Bosa, Rookie of the Year. This one hurt, as I told Jake. This one hurt. It's Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
I had money on Kenneth Walker. That was close, but I'm just glad it wasn't Brock Purdy.
Would have been embarrassing.
Rookie of the Year. It would have been so embarrassing. Rookie of the Year, Sauce Gardner, and that's pretty cool that rookies from the same team won them. So that's really cool. Next Gen Stats Moment of the Year was Justin Jefferson's catch versus the Bills, and then Man of the Year is Dak Prescott. Who cares? Pro Football Hall of Fame class is Rondé Barber, Darrelle Revis, Joe Thomas, Zach Thomas, DeMarcus Ware, Don Coryell, Chuck Howley, Joe Klecko, and Ken Riley. So that's your NFL honors for this year. Not really any big surprises. At least I don't think. I don't know if you guys thought any surprises up there. Again, I'm just glad Brock Purdy didn't win Rookie of the Year. That was stupid. That was stupid that he was nominated. Put Chris Olave. I hate the Saints, but Chris Olave should have been a nominee over Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like Saints fans being angry and upset because they suck.
Which is fine. which is fine. Yeah,
Can we steal picks from them next? I'd really like that.
I would love that. I would love that. Anything else, guys? I think we're. I mean, I don't have enough for the Super Bowl. I mean,
So no huddle related. I just want to give a nod to LeBron.
oh yeah, true.
I don't know if I would have stopped the game for 15 minutes and then lose the game.
Is that he stopped it for 15 minutes?
Yeah, it was like 13, 14 minutes they stopped the game. He didn't stop it. Like Adam Silver was there. They did a whole presentation.
Okay.
Kareem was there.
Goat man doing dope things.
So yeah, listen, but to anybody now who feels as if they can put this out there and this determines if he's the GOAT or not, he's not. He never will be.
He already is. It's okay. It's all right.
No, fuck out of here.
At
no point in
your heart, man.
20 years career has he undoubtedly been the best player in the league. When MJ was in his prime, there was no one even close on both ends of the court who you could say. So you could tell me LeBron in 07 to 2011, he was better than Kobe? No. Since we got somebody who's don't look there's each your nails.
I think so. Yes, I truly think so. Yes.
Got your numbers. What we talk about?
He said, "Eat your nails."
Yeah, I believe that. Yes, I believe he's better.
No, he's not.
It's okay. It's okay. It's all right to be in the sea of wrong.
2013 to 2016, you would have taken LeBron over Steph Curry? You would have taken LeBron over KD?
Yes.
So hold on. Are you saying LeBron's not 2?
No, I'm saying LeBron's 2. But there's people out here like this dude over here who's saying that LeBron's now the GOAT because
he's been the GOAT. It's all right. It's all good. It's okay. We don't need to go on this tangent.
Oh my God, I can't.
I know what he's doing. I know what you're doing.
It's GOAT man doing GOAT man things. I don't know what to tell you.
All day, right? Like I'm a Mike guy all day. I've seen Jordan play. He's dark skinned, bald like me, so it just makes sense for me to like Mike.
You're also a better gambler.
But I get what you're saying, PY, and I used to argue hard as shit about this, but I don't anymore because I can say LeBron James is the greatest career I've ever seen.
Yeah. I won't argue that.
We've seen from high school being called the chosen one and then actually living up to the hype.
Right.
Yep.
And surpassing it.
That was Tiger. That was it. The only person that was Tiger Woods.
Right. Like he broke a record that he wasn't even shooting for. Like he's always been a pass.
He's a pass first guy who broke the scoring record.
Like there's nobody else. Like he is the record.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's the second. He's the second greatest.
Yeah, like he's easily 1B or 2. Easy.
Like for me, the best thing about him is like you said, his longevity. His longevity.
Yeah.
And that you've never seen anybody
less games than Kareem.
And he didn't need to go play shitty baseball.
I'm not saying that. So what I'm saying is this isn't a slight to LeBron because I think he is number 2 overall.
Okay.
He's number 2 overall. But fuck you, Pete. I'm literally like,
damn.
Now you feel my anger. You feel the anger.
But now at this point he's antagonizing because the reason I say that is because LeBron, if he played in that era, there's no way you play 20 years. Your body won't hold up in 20 years.
No shot.
So we could do what coulda, shoulda, if this and third. All I know is when LeBron was in the league, he got the points. Right? Because he outlasted everybody else's career. I'm not going to knock you for the longevity that you have, my brother. You're 38 years old. You're trying to stay in the league till you're 40 so you can play with your son. It's a beautiful thing. But to do that and to say that you the GOAT, you the most talented player that ever touched a basketball, that's not happening. Yeah, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about what. See, that's where you go. You go wrong, PY. And this, I mean, you can be trolling or whatever. You cannot sit here and tell me out of anybody who's ever played on an NBA basketball court that LeBron's the most talented player to ever play basketball.
I can, and I will.
Okay. And if you believe it, you believe it. I hope you stub your toe when you get out the bed.
I think that if you're talking about the best all-around skill set, it's LeBron because I think that LeBron doesn't.
I can't even say that because I can't even say, you know why? Because if Mike wanted to win every award, he could have. We talk about somebody. We talk about somebody. Listen, there's never been done before. Mike won the MVP and the Defensive Player of the Year in the same fucking year.
Oh yeah, he did. What I'm saying is that like
you just talking about raw talent.
No, it's like being able to play positions 1 to 5 and then all at a high level. Like it's insane. Maybe 1 to 4. Maybe not. Like LeBron maybe can't play center.
Play 5.
You know what I'm saying? Like he can, if he wants to be a distributor, he can. If he wants to be power forward, he can. Athletic freak. So like in that sense, yeah, he's like his skill set is unmatched in my opinion. I mean, I have a close friend who will argue Larry Bird was, but I mean, I'm not even gonna go there. But I think the reason why I just can't, and I don't have a stake in the matter of one or the other. Like when I was watching MJ, I was still pretty young. I didn't fathom fully what his greatness was, but as I'm getting older, now I can appreciate it, and I'm witnessing what LeBron is doing. Mm-hmm. So, to me, when I look at the sport of basketball, it's the one sport where one person can take over. Out of any sport, any other team sport in basketball, one player can literally take over the game and have an impact. If there was one player that I would pick for one game to win me that game because I know they can take over, it's MJ. Because
that's very, 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 very well said.
Yeah, like we've seen LeBron be too passive, and sorry to say, but we've seen him choke a little too many times. Yep. I'm not, and again, I'm not trying to hate on LeBron because I've always supported LeBron. I always felt like LeBron has gotten way too much hate in his career by people that just hate him because they don't want to give him credit. And so I'm not hating on LeBron, but when you look at the sport of basketball, who's the one person you want to be on your team to guarantee you're going to win that game? I've just seen MJ do it way too many times, and you see what MJ has done. And like that assassin mentality that people always have, I think that goes a long way in basketball. Now, do I think Kobe, who is the closest thing to Jordan that we'll ever get, do I think Kobe is as good, or do I think he's better than LeBron? No, I don't. And rest in peace, Kobe. And my heart goes out to him. But I think with Kobe, you're now getting to a point where the skill set and the efficiency and the stats, like Kobe just can't match up enough to say but he's an assassin. He's close to MJ. Like, all in all, I think Kobe is up there. But I can never say that Kobe's better than LeBron. But at the same time, I can never say LeBron is better than MJ. It's not.
It's okay. I'll do it for you.
Like JT56 said, he said if Jordan played as many games as LeBron, he had 45,000 points. I mean, listen. Yep. I'm not even gonna talk about shit on the court right now. I'm not even gonna talk about shit on the court right now. Everything LeBron is trying to do off the court outside of his school and educational shit, it's fucking amazing. I would say this, he's probably a better human being than Michael Jordan. I'll give you that as well.
He's a better general manager too.
He's never got, that's one therein lies a problem. One of you just knocked yourself, and I'll get back to that in a minute. Never once has LeBron ever been in any type of controversy outside of being told to shut up and dribble. You know what I mean? Shit like that. But outside of that, but listen, his shoes is second to Michael's. Both his sons who celebrating him winning the all-time scorer had Jordans on their feet, bitch. They didn't have LeBrons on their feet. They had Jordans on their feet. Mm-hmm. He tried to do Space Jam 2. How did that fucking work out? I'm gonna tell you, Pete, honestly, and this is kind. If you've never seen Come Fly With Me, LeBron ain't got shit close to that. LeBron ain't got kids running around here talking about I want to be like Mike. Shit, they made a movie with Bow Wow about the shit. Not they didn't say make one, they made two of them bitches.
Yeah. Like Mike.
It's I get it. Like I don't want like Nate said, it's hard. It's hard not to go so hard, but you got to kind of scale back because this is their generation, Mike. I get it. But you also got to look at I've seen this all day on Facebook. Mike didn't do it by himself. Mike didn't put them teams together. Mike didn't say go draft Scottie Pippen, the big nose motherfucker out of Central Arkansas. He ain't say that. And people don't understand the struggle that Mike went through to get to that point.
About that man knows though. Leave that man alone.
Nigga shit, bro.
Why you gotta talk shit? You gonna say the big nose motherfucker out of Central?
I will say this: Jordan played.
He leave that man alone.
Jordan's already dated his daughter. He's been through enough.
Players, but the league and the talent in the league was more spread out. Like, could you imagine Jordan going? The closest thing that you have to Jordan right now, his mentality is Damian Lillard. Because Damian Lillard he said, "I'm never leaving Portland." When the league is different, the game is different. It's a softer game. It's a more fast flowing game. The 3-point, the 3 and all that you hear this 3 and D shit and all that. It's just different. All I can tell you is this, and if Michael Jordan in his prime played against LeBron in his prime, LeBron probably wouldn't even get 7.
Oh, stop! You're just
Nate, now you hear me, right?
You crazy.
Michael Jordan versus LeBron in a prime. 92, 93.
Well, body him. I'm sorry. Like, get out of here.
Player, right? So
See, this is what I'm saying. Pete, listen to Nate.
I know what Pete's doing.
Mike's
Pete's
the
following. I know
one-on-one
what he's
player.
doing.
I mean, that's known even from Kobe, right? Kobe said
Right.
it himself when the conversation about Kobe versus LeBron came up. He's like, "Yeah, I'll kill LeBron because I'm a one-on-one player. That's what I do. That's what makes me great." And what do you think he's a carbon copy of? He's a carbon copy of Mike. But just to go back to what you were saying before, Pete, was that it's really interesting because I think on JJ's Reddick's podcast, he had said something similar. He just didn't understand why LeBron gets so much hate. And maybe just because how LeBron goes about his business, maybe a little bit. Maybe, you know, he scratches people a little bit different or touches little people different.
Right.
But LeBron in the clutch, he's got more clutch moments than Jordan.
Yep,
He's played, but he's had more opportunities to have clutch moments.
But he still won on those.
he's got more.
He's got more. It don't matter.
I'm not discounting
What
that.
rate is
It's
he
interesting to hear because he's like one in everything across the board in terms of clutch.
It's
Right.
like it's.
But when
it's
you
LeBron and
associate
Tom
clutch,
Brady.
they don't ever talk about LeBron though. All they talk about is
Right, 'cause
he
he wasn't-
chokes
he
here
was-
and there. He's one of the most clutchest
He
players to
wasn't
ever play
clutch early
professional
in his
basketball.
career. When you talk about when he was in his Miami
What?
Heat days, the big 3, you forget that shit was fucking 10 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
You were still in high school when that shit went down.
I'd like to
actually
know
in
what the like having because LeBron played so long. Of course, he's
Right.
going to have more. You're talking about volume, but what
Right.
I'd like to I don't know if any of us have the
Tom must be
numbers
tough
here.
'cause he's
But what
jumping
are
out
the
different-
percentages? At what rate was he successful in clutch moments? So that's what do you define as a clutch moment?
LeBron.
LeBron.
Well, no, I mean, they defined it like in the last minute, who's taking the last shot. LeBron has more moments than MJ.
Yeah, and what I'm saying.
He said,
more.
what's the percentage? How
But what's the
like
percentage?
compared to
What
how many
rate is he
attempts?
Oh yeah, I forget what he said. But I think to him it doesn't matter if you. It's like if you don't. It don't matter if you win by an inch or or a mile. You're
Right.
still winning, right? You're still one, and it's not even a question. You are one, and that's what LeBron said. Don't get it twisted. I'm Mike all day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I respect greatness.
Yeah.
I
do-
respect
yeah,
what
yeah.
is in front of my face right now, and it's really not hard to say. I think, bar none, across all sports, I think a lot of people can say this: that LeBron James is the greatest career we've ever seen, from
Yes.
start to finish,
Longevity, yeah.
from grade school and high school to where he is now.
Mm-hmm.
It's the greatest thing you've ever seen because he
So blow
lived
last dance out of the water.
he lived up to the hype. He was
Yeah.
he's like how many times have we heard about the heir apparent to Mike and actually live up to it
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now everyone and their mother is the next LeBron.
since high school.
Yeah.
Brady don't count, Tom, because Brady wasn't even supposed to be great. He was like a sixth round pick out of 5 rounds.
I mean, this kid, his high school games was on TV. He was a millionaire before he even touched his first minute in an NBA game.
And he lived up to it, though.
As I said, the closest comp that I had to LeBron, like I said, is Tiger. That's the only other player who I could think that this guy was supposed to be the guy to elevate a sport. Now, Tiger is a little bit better because he elevated he brought everything with him. He brought golf, the whole game of golf up, from prizes, purses, sponsorship. He put the whole sport on his back. LeBron already had an established sport, but like Nate's saying, I can't take nothing away from what LeBron has done as far as his longevity. All I'm trying to get people to say, and I don't even hate LeBron, it's the fans that this the markers for him, because you have to understand what all we're simply saying is, if I take 1,000 darts and somebody can go and they have 500 and they hit 490, so they missed 10 times, but you take 1,000 darts, it's a chance that person who has 1,000 darts is going to hit more balloons than 490, just because they had more opportunities. Like I'm saying, I keep saying, Richard said, who played the better competition? Don said the same thing. Guess what? It's better competition now in a softer game. Mm-hmm. If AI was playing now, AI would be averaging 40 a night.
They say that in every era, right?
Right. But you can tell it's true. I mean, like, picture up Xavier McDaniels had a boy in a chokehold. It ain't called a foul back then.
Yeah,
that's how it is, but that is the truth though. Like with all the, like, you look at football, you look at basketball, you look at hockey, even like 80s, 90s, it was a totally different like physical game. Now it's more wide open. It's more about athleticism and playing in space, and I'm not knocking it, because I think to some people's points, are players more athletic? And this is for all three of those sports all around. Are players more athletic? Yes. I think that's a given, considered the way the trend is. It's kind of like it's just like escalation or inflation in a way. Like, you're going to keep improving, getting better and better. At some point, 20 years from now, the players 20 years from now are going to be more athletic than the players now. That's just the given. But
which is a scary thought.
That's insane to think about.
The game before was just more physical because of how in every sport the rules are made for it. I mean, look at I think there was a clip. There's a special coming out with the 2000 Ravens, and I think Trent Dilfer caught some heat because of a quote, but to me it was a misunderstood quote. But he was saying, like, the way the game is played now, he has more respect for what the Ravens did back then, because the Ravens defense literally, like, because of the way the rules were and everything, they were able to literally stop these offenses. Like,
wow, time. Pull up Richard Shalley comment real quick.
Which one? The last one?
The last one. I can't even
be good. No, that's an assumption. Like, you can't. I don't agree with that.
No,
like, because
I don't think people realize, like, Jordan was getting 35, 40, 63 at the Garden with dudes hand checking him every step, every dribble.
You don't think LeBron would do what he do now in that era?
No. I'm not saying that. He said, look, so you take them and you flip flop errors. He's saying LeBron would be better than Mike if he played in Jordan's era. That's what he's saying.
It's possible.
Than Jordan playing in today's game.
That's possible.
I don't think it's a given. I think that it's
who's guarding LeBron back in the day.
But I think
But you think LeBron going to the hole like that can bully Bill Laimbeer?
Yes,
but he's going to be. That's the thing. LeBron's going to be able to.
What are you talking about?
I understand that. What I'm talking about, how the game is officiated, then they'd have put him on his ass.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a
bro.
Dennis Rodman in his prime.
You talking about one player, right? And
I'm talking about one whole team.
You're talking about a Hall of Fame player, and then second, they ain't never seen somebody like Bron.
I understand what you're saying, Nate, but I'm saying in the
mouth.
rules of the game and how they allow them to play defense.
It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter if they've never seen it's not going to stop these defensive players from punching them in the mouth. Like, and over time, like, the physical toll is going to have an effect. Would it stop LeBron from being great? No. Like, it's not going to stop LeBron from being great. But I think that especially young people, I would assume that this Richard Shawley guy is probably younger than 21 years old. So these young people, they don't realize
These young people.
that
These whippersnappers.
These young balls out here.
Get off my
it
lawn.
was back then.
About like they know.
Get off my stoop.
But just how you said that, Chuck.
As
Scheme
I
team,
talk
he has a
here at
comment.
my
towards
old
that.
age of 35, right?
Go drink your prune juice.
Yeah, there's a
Oh,
couple
my
things I
God.
want to say before I get out of here, man. You know, even Tom with even the Harper conversation, like I follow baseball and I don't know as much as baseball as other people, but was Harper ever the best player?
Yes,
He was before Mike Trout hit his shit.
Right.
I think he's better.
Like,
He-
I mean, but how many years? Like 1, 2? Was there a run where Harper was hands down the best player for years?
I think it's been the last 3.
Last 3 years, Harper's been the best.
I think so.
No.
I don't think Trout's the same guy, and I think he's overrated.
I think what Nate is saying, if you had your pick in the last 3 years, based on what you just said, PY, if you had a number 1 pick, you're picking Harper first.
Yeah, I would pick Harper first over Mike Trout. Yeah.
He's just
You keep saying Mike Trout. I'm not. It's bigger than this. Him and Mike Trout. He's talking about in all of
It's
baseball.
all a baseball.
Yeah, I would take Bryce Harper.
I
Okay.
wouldn't.
No,
Who would
I
you
was
take
wondering-
over him?
I just didn't know, like in those Washington times, was Harper considered the best player in the game?
In Washington, no, because that was Trout.
But that's also when Trout was staying healthy.
That's what I'm saying. No, he can't.
Harper's been
but that's-
hurt a lot too, bro.
But that's what I'm saying. Like when you take Harper in his prime, Trout in his prime, I think that's really splitting hairs. It's really fucking close. But like I don't know. Harper's definitely more clutch because Harper
I've
has
seen
had
Harper carry
he has
a
had
team.
age to be clutch, and to whatever right, wrong, or indifferent, maybe it's the team around him, his own personal health. Trout has never even had the opportunity to play in the playoffs yet, so we don't know what he's going to do. But I'll give you this. All right, PY. It's not to say I'm a Harper basher, but just to kind of echo your point, right? You said you would take Harper. The year they fucking Harper left, what they do? The year that he left the Nationals, what did they do?
They won, but I feel like that doesn't
What
have.
did they win?
I
What
feel
did
like
they
that
win?
has less to do with him and more that they put it in different resources.
But what did they do? They won. So Nate, the year Harper left Washington, like you said, because people I don't want to say it, they fucking won the World Series. They beat the team that we just lost to in the World Series
Right.
in 7 games.
Yeah, no, I remember that. That's I knew Harper was always been good, but I didn't know if he was ever considered the best in baseball. And to compare it in this, because I like to talk shit about Tom and whatever Tom does, I just talk shit. It's just what I do. But I'm just saying, when he was comparing Harper to Bron, and I'm just thinking like,
Yeah, I don't know.
like Bron was good and considered great for years and still is. I don't know if Harper is in that same trajectory as living up to the hype, because I don't know if Harper was that good for that long, like Bron has been that good for that long. And shout out to Chrome, man. Chrome, speaking of what's the word? Anniversaries of trade deadline. I got traded from Wednesdays to Birds of a Feather, and Chrome got traded. And I just want to say, Birds of a Feather is a lot better, Chrome.
Yes.
Since I came on. It's a lot better.
So
And
JT.
Wednesdays has been struggling.
So to that JT clown, I've played sports my entire life, and clearly I know enough about sports that I'm on here every week, and I've been here for 2 years. So
But let me stop talking shit, man. I love you, boys. Let's go.
Love you, Nate.
Go Birds.
Love you, Nate.
I gotta
go
get out of here.
Birds.
Tomorrow. Catch me, Money Pop Podcast. We're talking bets. We'll lay out all the bets that we have for the day, for the big game on Sunday. And I will see you boys on Broad Street. Let's go. Yo, I saw the video of you crying, Chucks. You weren't having it with anybody.
It's my favorite video ever. I
That was
love
great.
that video.
Like,
Those are
I've
man
seen a
tears,
lot of
I love
grown
that
men
video.
cry, but you were crying.
Oh yeah.
And then you had a bottle in your hand on Broad Street, so I fucking love it, man.
But if anyone knows Chucks, that's Chucks to a T. Absolutely, just pure chalks when you watch
Pure-
it with chalks.
Exactly, and I love it, man. So let's fucking go.
Let's
I'll see
go.
you boys. I'll see everybody watching today, tomorrow on the show, and we'll see each other on Broad Street, man. Let's go. Moss Money. Money Pop Podcast. 18.
Later, Nate.
Later, Nate.
Out here.
Love it, bro.
Oh, I mean, that's pretty much that was very
That
lively.
was random, but it was a good talk.
I figured it was. I figured it definitely would be. It's definitely a good conversation topic.
Absolutely.
Next week's show, if there is a parade, are we doing a show? If the parade is
Depends
Thursday,
when the parade is.
they said it's supposed to be Thursday.
Either
Again?
Wednesday, it's Wednesday or
Jeez,
Thursday,
we
but
have
I
one of
think
them
it'll
in
be.
Philly and late parades.
Let's do
Yeah,
the
we
show
think
at the parade. There we
I
go.
think it would be Thursday. Dude, you're not going to get any nervous down there if we were going to do a show. There would be no nervous.
I have a 2-year-old son. I can't be going to the parade anymore.
Yeah.
Especially not like I did last time when we were there 3 a.m.
Like I went to the first one, and if we win, I'm just like as like amped up it was the first time to go to the second one. I'm just.
I walked from Camden over the bridge to Philly
Oh, you walked the bridge, yeah.
Crushed.
in work boots, by the way.
How many steps was that? Do you know?
What do you mean?
Like, how many steps did you walk that day?
Like what? From
Just
Camden?
all day. Like I had 20,000 steps that day. It was like 12 miles.
It's gotta be. It had to be close to 30, 40.
Dude.
I would think.
And
Because I walked from Rutgers, Camden to the parade, and then I walked back.
You couldn't. Was there Uber not a thing at that time?
I didn't.
It was.
Not really.
It was. I took Ubers. Martian Lynch. If you go to my socials, you'll see it. Like if you go to my YouTube, the whole video is there. But then I also posted it as a reel a few days ago. But if you
So
go
is
to any
it
of my socials,
worse than
Instagram,
Joja Camera's crying or
Instagram,
better?
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You'll see it on there.
I didn't see the cameras crying. Like Chuck's literally was like, oh my God, happy fingers, and fell to his knees.
Yeah.
Well,
And
then he started like convulsing because he was so excited. That was my favorite part. Like he was like crowd standing up, crowd extending. He didn't know what to do. It was the best.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. But
I'm
it's also
not dumb
like,
as hell, yo.
yeah, it's an embarrassing video for me, but
Fucking
it's a nice memento to remember.
Right.
The Holy Ghost, I did. That BG, the BG reaction was that was
like right after you take the lead, you figure the game's over.
Yep. Yeah.
Hopefully this is a lot more easy sailing than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's not going to be, but
Yeah, right. We've talked about like the past 2 weeks, like they're whatever position won't matter. It'll just be close, and we'll be stressed out.
Right.
if this game goes to overtime, I don't know if you might have to like.
If we're 4th and 30, and like Mahomes has the ball with a chance to win it, and we lose like that, I'll kill myself.
Wow.
God.
Like you will hear about my death the following morning.
You might have to give me smelling salts if we go over.
Like I will never be able to. I don't think I'll ever be able to watch football ever again.
Oh my God.
That'll be painful.
Well, let's hope, guys. Let's hope it's not like that. Let's see. Before we head out, there were 2 points I really want to make to close out the show. One, I didn't realize this, and it's kind of an interesting coincidence. But 10 years ago, not from this date, but from like 10 football seasons ago. Before the 2012 season, that was the Dream Team quote by Vince Young. Remember, Vince Young said, "Dream Team." It's kind of funny. A decade later, this team literally could be that Dream Team,
that Dream
All-Star team.
It's amazing.
That it is crazy.
That it's that we've had this team that has looked this dominant. But it won't mean anything unless we win.
Yep.
We have to win Sunday. So if they want to be the real Dream Team, then they've got to finish it off this Sunday. And the last thing also I want to say is this guy here, Miles Sanders, if this is his last game as an Eagle, I sure hope it goes out with a bang because like I've advocated for this guy before the draft. I don't know if you guys remember, but I went nuts when we drafted him. I think HUD posted the video, and I've stuck by this guy. I've defended him through tough times. I believed in him. I called that he would have a breakout year this year, and he did. He's a Pro Bowler, and he's going to make money next year. It depends where, but to Miles Sanders, go ball out, young bull. Go ball out. And if this is your last game as an Eagle, make it a memorable one. Because like if he and I have money on him winning the MVP. If he balls out and wins MVP, you have no idea how crazy I'm going to go.
Has a running back ever won MVP?
Yeah. Terrell Davis.
Oh yeah, so I can't believe it's been that long. So.
We've seen crazier. Malcolm Smith, a linebacker, won MVP. So if he won MVP, Super Bowl MVP 1 year,
he won it when Tampa Bay played Oakland, right?
No, it was Seattle against Broncos.
Yeah,
he had that interception return for a touchdown. But yeah, I mean we will see. But I will be hoping and praying for Miles Sanders to have the game of his life this Sunday. But honestly, I'll take it from anyone as long as we freaking win. We got to win this one, boys.
Winning in
this one, get that dream team status to be finalized. But anyways, great show. We went 25 minutes longer than expected, but that's what happens. Right. To all of you guys in the chat, Don, love you too, man. Love you too. All guys in the chat and everyone that has supported us for this football season, we greatly appreciate your support as always. To our main show sponsor, Baggio's Bread. Remember, use A2D as the promo code to get 10% off your order for the Super Bowl Sunday. If you're celebrating at home, head out there, go get this stuff bread, and tell us what you think, and tell us that we sent you. But gentlemen, hopefully in a few days we will be celebrating on Broad. I will talk to you guys later, and for everyone else, we appreciate the support. Go Birds. Be safe too, please. Be safe.
Yes, be
climbing
safe.
those
Be
poles.
safe,
All right. Be safe climbing those light poles. For myself, for Mr. OG Pete, for Jake Friel, and for Mr. PY and Nate Money, and for all of us at A2D, check us out. We will be also on camera Sunday. There's a Super Bowl preview roundtable on Sunday afternoon. I think around 12 o'clock. So you can catch us and the rest of the A2D panel and roster giving you a game day show, pretty much. All right, guys. Fly Eagles fly. Go Birds. Peace out.
Peace.